mostly
the
used
game.
in the 30s.
Welcome to Dicefunctional, where a bunch of friends sit around, talk about flared things, roll some dice, tell a story, and share that exact story with you, our wonderful audience. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We appreciate your presence on this fine day. A special warm welcome to those of you who might be tuning in for the first time. Greetings and salutations to you, friend. We hope you enjoy your first taste of this adventuring party and this group of friends doing what we do on the Saturdays or whenever it is that you're watching this. Speaking of watching this, hey, all of you beautiful people out there, before we get into an actual game where we have to deal with a Cat King and whatever the fuck is going to be happening with that, how about we go over just a couple of things before we get started. The first thing being, if you like watching things live and you're not already doing so, make sure to head on over to Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Dicefunctional, where you can hang out with us every Saturday at around 4 p.m. Eastern time, where we play this game live. You can chat with us. You can contribute things. Heck, I don't know. Do whatever it is that you do when you like watching things live. Honestly, it's one of the more fun ways to experience the story, because you get to figure things out when we figure things out. It's pretty cool. If you like checking out things during the week, hey, guess what? We do things during the week. We got art content that happens. We got gaming content that happens. If you want to watch Connor scream, that usually happens on Wednesdays. It's a good time. You can come out and hang with us, and usually a few of us are in chat too. Pretty cool. If you need to catch up on previous episodes, if you want to check out our entire campaign 1, we have other one-shot stuff. We've got other ttrpgs other than the one that has a whole bunch of D's. You're welcome, everyone who made the joke just then. You can head on over to YouTube, youtube.com/@Dicefunctional, where we've got the gaming content, the art content, and the tabletop RPG content. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff out there. That's also a good place to catch up if you've been missing some stuff. Someone, I'm not going to name myself, but yeah, still needs to actually get to the recording of the recap, which is going to happen here soon, I promise. So that way, if you need, catch-ups, it's really easy to catch up to where we are currently in the story. If you are on the run, if you are on the go, if you are just dreading, having to hear the drone of the AC as you're sitting in a cubicle, wondering why the fuck you have to run this report for the 8th time, and really just wishing you could throw something at Janet, I got the best solution ever for you. Go to your favorite podcasting platform, search Dicefunctional. We have an entire podcast feed, so you can listen to us instead of having to listen to that stupid AC unit that they just categorically refuse to fix because they sink way too much money into that office. If you need to check out some stuff on the socials, we are at Dicefunctional everywhere except for Twitter, at Dicefunctional with an _. Elon didn't want to give it to us. It's okay. He can do whatever he wants. We also have an amazing website, wixsite.dicefunctional. Whatever it is, search it. There are plenty of searching places that you can search. We have awesome artwork. We have information on the players. We got information on the characters. We got all that kind of cool stuff that you can go check out there. And hey, if you like what we do here, make sure you spread the word. Let people know what it is that we're doing here, because as this community continues to grow, honestly, we just have more fun with you guys. So there you go. But that's enough of me talking. We got things to do and dice to roll. Connor, take it away. Spoiler alert, he already opened the drink.
I was thirsty. Where we last... my head! What the fuck? My cord fell out of my headset.
That's what you get.
This is what you happen from going against the routine.
I'm thirsty.
This is what happens.
I was thirsty.
Where we last left our
group of obnoxious... I don't know what to call them. When we last left these assholes.
Holes. It is. I was like, you were really trying not to say assholes, weren't you?
Well, it's because obnoxious and assholes aren't the same letter.
And you also
not
used
alliterative.
that noun last week.
Obnoxious?
No.
It's like
assholes.
we keep being obnoxious. No.
Last week
we're
you
obnoxious all the
left
time.
out an
It's
adjective.
like it's a brand.
They managed to find and hunt down a mysterious large feline that had picked up a key that they really wanted to find out the information on. Managing to pin down the cat after having to chase it down for a little while, you eventually managed to find out its name is Mayskine. It was able to talk, apparently, and it did not wish to hand over the object. But after some extended conversation, you guys were able to figure out what it does and what it is. Is that the Eye of Sauron? You guys eventually managed to find out what it does, what it's for, and that apparently it has something to do with entering into the Dreamland. You all came to all conclusions on what to do, and it wound up moving away from the cat, as you guys still had to wait a little bit longer for your cart to show up. Really, not that long. And eventually, Asher decided to ask a question of the book, to which I have privately answered the question to Jace, and left it as a mystery for everybody else. But where we had last left off, you guys had just spoken to the cat. At this point, I will say that time-wise, we should be good to go, and the cart will be starting to putter its way into town right at about 9 o'clock in the morning. Yep.
Before we get there, Asher is going to do one more thing with the book after getting the information and writing it down.
Okay.
Asher is going to heal himself back because what spells? I have 4 first level spells. And Asher is gonna dump all but 1 point of healing back in, thinking having 3 things in mind. Asking about the 2 symbols that were found, and keeping the face that is on the mask in his mind to get more information about this.
Okay. So, by asking the book these questions, they would actually both give basically the same answer. The book does not recognize the first symbol, which was the circle with several lines going through it, and the other symbol that Rot noticed, it does not recognize either one of those symbols. And as for the god's face, it does not recognize the god either. Which, since this book is older, and does not necessarily have the information from what happened in the last 30 years, kind of matches up closer with the idea that you guys have started to kind of roll around with.
Got it.
Shut up, music band.
Cool. All right, and then before Asher goes to sleep, he'll use...
God, it would be so funny if Elon Musk got killed by a Tesla. It would be hilarious.
It would be brilliant. As Asher's been doing, I need to look back at when the first day Asher got this spell was, but going to use Nicel's Magic Aura again on his coat.
Okay.
I need to do it. I just so you know as well. I'm doing it. Asher's doing it for 30 days in a row to make it so the coat doesn't show off as magical at all.
Yeah,
30 continuous days becomes a
feeling
permanent
that's
enchantment.
what you were doing, because I know that there were a few spells where if you repeatedly cast it, it becomes permanent.
Yep.
So yeah, I had a feeling that was it, but it's good that you brought it up because I do not recall.
And I am making sure to save at least 1 second level spell slot so that way I can cast that at night.
Cool.
Yep.
So, Todd he's looking right at the camera again. He's spiking the camera.
Sister, I wish to do violence on the lens. Oh, hand.
Todd Howard, what are you doing?
We're calling him as Todd Howard.
I'm
It doesn't
calling him
even make
Todd Howard.
sense. It's T-O-B, not T-O-D.
Bob Howard.
Bob Howard.
I hate you all.
No,
It just
Top
Don't do
Howard.
this to Toby.
The D at the end also has to be a B.
Todd Howard.
Like Cobb
Here,
salad.
Ew.
Bob.
You know, Todd Howard, like Cobb salad.
Don't ask me to elaborate
The most
that.
unhinged statement I think I've ever made. He's doing it again.
I don't know why you guys expect anything different from him. Hi,
He
Tobo.
has Big baby energy.
He does. He's an old man.
So
When are you putting Toby in the game, Connor?
when am I putting Toby in the game? Are you sure you want that?
I need a Watson.
I already told you. I am working on that. You're not getting a cat though.
Damn.
I was about to say we are currently surrounded by 20 plus cats.
I'm sure Toby's here.
I think
sure
he
he's
would.
Yeah, I'm sure
somewhere.
Toby is here. It's for what you're asking for though. It's not going to be a cat because I don't want to make it a cat.
Howard.
No, I'm not a coward. I know what I'm doing.
No,
It's
he's a coward.
pronounced Howard.
I was
Wait,
gonna say it's
Todd.
Howard. Come on, Todd Howard.
It's Tob Howarb.
I may not be able to reach you right now,
Yeah.
but I will again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love Jill and I made the same joke, just slightly different. I said coward, and Jill said Howard.
Howarb and Howard.
See,
Just
I
one
was
letter.
gonna say Todd Coward, so we're all there.
One brain cell,
Same joke, different fonts.
Yeah.
Yes.
pretty much.
Being
We're
mean
all-
to you, baby.
J-
We're
just
all
like,
Times
pretty-
New Roman.
just like no diversions.
We're all
Thank you for not drooling.
we all
How
go
many
by the
Comic
same.
Sans?
I wish you guys could hear him. He's purring so loudly.
I'm
Thank you.
Wingdings.
Hell
You're
yeah.
wing-
Yes.
Yes. I used to try
Uh,
to translate wingdings. I'd be like, what is this?
Same.
Ancient hieroglyphics.
Same.
What
With
does
the
it
two of
mean?
you.
They think very similarly.
It's the
I dropped my
gender.
breath.
It is
Or
the
lack
gender.
thereof.
I thought it was the Jindo, or was it the ADHD?
It's the juice.
Yeah.
The juice.
We're built different.
He did not
Yeah.
commit that murder. The glove did not fit.
You didn't try hard enough to make it fit.
That's what she said?
Jesus Christ!
Back to the game.
You probably
Okay.
quit making goofs.
I apologize, chat. I don't know where the fuck that came from.
See, he said the juice. That's what OJ was called.
Oh.
Don't look at me like that.
Anyway.
Anyways. So, by about, let's say 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
A brout?
Sorry, do you want the session to keep going?
Nope, that's all the time we have today, folks. Thank you very much.
You bags of cock.
See you next time.
Goodbye. Well, a
Actually, I'm
singular
kidding. I
cock.
just did that for the joke.
Yeah,
You did.
actually,
I thought you were gonna. You motherfucker.
I'm not just gonna make the joke and not
Hey,
do
Michelle,
it. Come
you're
on
gonna-
now.
I really
Michelle,
have
you're
the
gonna need to
buttons.
mark that time, and you're gonna actually have to put in the end music on that point because
I had hoped that's what that was what you
it's-
were doing when you leaned forward.
It's
I had it.
418 for reference, so that way if you keep listening in, you'll know.
No, it's okay. I'll be.
Oh my
Don't worry, I got it.
Anyway.
Also,
This game we're playing. Yeah.
did we get a long rest? Is what I'm asking.
you guys very easily could have gotten a long rest, yeah, if you'd like to,
Okay.
Anna, why are you sinking?
because I'm trying to get something from underneath my desk.
Oh God, what did happen to this page? Okay.
Yeah, it looks wrong.
Okay. How the fuck do you mark? Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry, I have no control over that,
No,
guys.
it's fine. You're fine. It's not your fault.
Parts of it are honestly better.
Yeah.
Other
Parts
parts
of it
aren't.
are just what the fuck.
Yeah, I don't have
For
any
reference,
like,
chat, they
stuff
changed the what is it? The modified character pages that we're using.
thing.
It's
Mhm.
Cool.
So,
I don't know how to take a long rest anymore.
what?
There's a under
There it
hit
is. I see it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Come on.
Yes, if you guys wish to take a long rest, you can. Just tell me who's taking a long rest and who's not.
I am taking a long rest.
I need
Jason's taking a long rest.
I don't need to
Okay.
take a long.
You good, Chief?
Don't worry about it. This camera's not on here very sturdily, so every time I move it, I have to be careful.
All right. Jolly, do
What was the question?
you want to take a long rest or no?
I don't need to because I healed. I think. Yeah, I got healed already.
So no to Jolly. Fizzy's taking a rest. Darius?
I don't think so. The only thing I've used is a single rushed incant.
Okay. Granny?
I still have everything, so
You're
I really
fine.
don't need to.
Fizzy, Tana, you guys good?
You mean about
See, I'm taking a long rest.
Sorry, you're right. Rot and Tana. I looked at Michelle when I said that, so I said Fizzy. I apologize.
Oh, I mean,
Phil,
Rod
you're
is
getting
currently
replaced.
resting under cats.
That is true.
We can count that as a short rest if you want.
I don't think I need.
Okay. If you don't need to take a rest, then don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Curls up in a corner and like curls up into a ball and falls asleep very easily. Used to the floor.
If we didn't
Alright.
know better, that would sound so depressing.
Oh well. He's fine.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to need everybody except for Jace to please deafen. Thank you very much.
Right.
Give you a sec to play Spotify.
Yeah. If I get lost in the sauce on a video essay, y'all are gonna have to fish me out.
Where's my?
Same thing except on my Switch.
I'll
Alright, go
manage
play
to
Cookie
get there.
Mama.
I'll get their attention if we need to, Jace. Don't worry.
I'm not worried.
And let me just stop this music because this is a little too
Chat,
chilly.
you get to come along for the ride.
That's the intent. Jace.
Mm-hmm.
Asher has been wearing that mask for the last 2 days, correct?
Yes, actually.
Gotcha. So, Asher, as you find yourself a spot to nod off and go to sleep, using your backpack as a pillow, you brace it up so you could rest against it, and you begin to nod off and go to sleep. As you do, your mind is graced by dreams of a sort. You see what you can best describe as flashes of imagery. What looks to be a village of some sort, relatively near a mountain, not too far away from, well, must be somewhere in the north, you would assume. And you see that there are what looks to be a crowd of people dispersing away and making their way back into the town, and they're leaving something at the very front of it. And at the front of the village, you see there is what appears to be a post that's been set up, about 10 feet tall. It's got a little arm on the top of it. And hanging off that arm, there's what appears to be a rope, a noose. Hanging from that noose, there's a man. You're looking at a man who is arms tied behind their back, head angled down slightly, eyes stuck wide open. And you can see they don't look familiar to you. You haven't seen their face before. You don't know what they look like. They're just a guy, by all means. Half-elf, maybe. Fairly mundane. But what stands out to you is the eyes. They're bright white. Not like they're blind, but white like a sheet of paper, almost. They're the colored section of their eye that should be brown, blue, green, something of the sort, is instead just a pure white with a single black pupil standing out in the middle. And unlike most dead people, it is not glazed over. It has stayed focused. You can tell that man is dead, but there is an otherworldly something to that man. And then Asher will wake up.
Are there any colors that I noticed, like of the man's clothing or anything like that?
Oh, yes, certainly. It's fairly standard garb.
Toby, stop it. Sitting on my keyboard and hitting stuff. Sorry.
Fairly standard garb. Probably what looks to be like some kind of cotton legwear.
Okay.
Tan in coloration, kind of like a red vest, white undershirt.
Okay.
Nothing impressive, fairly standard.
Got it. And the eyes were just like, he was dead.
He was dead, but you did not see. They did not seem glazed over like you would know they can look like.
Yeah.
They seemed still kind of focused. Is the best way of describing it.
Did he seem to focus on me?
No.
Okay.
He
Just
seemed
kind of-
focused on something.
Something?
Middle distance maybe, but
Okay.
still focused.
Okay. Any other details of note about the village? Like, okay, in the north.
In the north, definitely near a
somewhere,
mountain.
Near a mountain.
There was a railway going into it.
Railway going into the village? Okay.
Yeah, so there was railroad tracks going into and out of the village just by proxy.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that would also be noteworthy.
Any symbolism on the man?
No, nothing. No symbolism on him that you've seen. Nothing on him. No.
Okay.
You can
No,
roll
like
me a
jewelry or anything? Okay.
No. You can roll me a perception check though if you'd like.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. That's an 18.
So you did notice that a few of the actual villagers themselves, which you only saw in passing, so you don't know exactly what they were wearing, but you do know that they were wearing something similar to each of each other. You couldn't pick out the detail on it, but just from like a very brief glance, you know it was about the same. It was like a little medallion or something that they were wearing around their neck.
Okay, some sort of similar medallion. All right. Okay. Clearly nothing Asher has ever experienced before.
Nothing you would be aware of off the top of your head. I'd have told you.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm just saying the dream in general. Like,
no,
this is brand new for Asher.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Asher is going to sit up. Even though it's not visible to anybody at the moment, there's absolutely a smirk on his face, and he's taking, as with dreams, he's taking all of this down into notes, so that way he has it.
Okay.
I mean, fuck, this would be. He's starting to get a little bit of a flashback to when he had some of the first dreams about his firearms after he had died. So yeah, he's making connections already. Okay, so we covered everything like that. I'm just going through to see if there's anything else that Asher would try to harken back to out of that imagery, and I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Cool.
In that case, we're good to go. I will change the music back. We'll bring everybody else back in.
All right. Oh, one question real quick. Did it seem like a conscience that wasn't his? Seeing those images?
Connor, why
You're
did
not sure?
we be able to hear
Okay.
that, just for a quick reference?
Don't worry
Are
about
we
it.
good?
They're good. No.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, that scared the shit out of me.
What?
I'll say solve my puzzle.
Nice. I solved the shrine.
Jill. Oh no, Jill.
Hold on, I'll text Jill. Get in.
I'm
Wait,
just
no,
screaming in
Jill
the chat.
got it.
Oh,
And someone needs to message Jolly.
that means sorry, Toby. It's time for your time in the spotlight to be over. You guys who are deafened did miss why Connor started cackling in the middle of that. Toby laid on my keyboard and unmuted me. And
Several times, actually.
He kept hitting the button. Because he likes to lay like this with his full head down. And was on the keyboard. Are you happy with yourself? You little shit.
Put my phone back down as soon as I'm done making cabbage rolls for Mama. Okay. She's a very, very harsh critic.
She's a picky bitch.
Yeah,
I know. You heard the door.
And she looks at you with those fire eyes when you do bad.
I don't do bad, so I don't see those.
Jolly!
Jolly's back.
No,
Jolly's
Jolly's on deafened. She's muted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I was like, I can't tell. I know I can see Jolly moving again, which is usually.
No, I'm just paranoid, so I just mute now.
Aw.
So, the cart's finally made its way back into the village. And about this point, actually, the villagers themselves are starting to wake up. You didn't really get the chance to see anybody, just because of when you guys arrived. But you would see that there do appear to be just some villagers who begin making their way out of their homes. A few will kind of like give you guys polite waves. A few others will cautiously look on at you all, especially considering you are all a bunch of armed individuals. But the cats seem to like you, so they don't seem to mind you.
It's still a walking rabbit, which probably isn't common.
But yes, the cats don't seem to mind you, so the villagers seem to be okay. They don't seem to be too bothered.
You don't threaten the cats, then you're safe.
So, what do you all wish to do?
Where's the cart?
It is here. I've just described it.
We should probably let the cat out.
Yeah, let's get that bitch home.
Again, Tana kept the cat in her room because there's a hole to the outside, not even a window, but a hole where it could jump out. So it might already be out.
Okay.
Either way, the cat you guys have been bringing with you will leisurely make its way out the front door. And it'll kind of look over at all of you.
Speak with animals.
You're going to cast Speak with Animals?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Hold on. God,
Mm.
I gotta get used to it. Wait. Not on my thing. I need it. Wait. Hold on. Because I would have had it. I not have it. I always have it booked. But for some reason, it's not, like, in my thing. What the hell?
Can I just say real quick, this song that's playing right now is really distracting because I'm pretty sure a booktuber I watch uses this as her, like, intro music. And I'm like, oh.
Don't look at me.
So
I see what
Michelle,
you
the
got.
only thing I can think of is there are different sorting methods
Yeah, I don't know
at
what's
the top.
happening. It's like I'm pretty sure I have this because I always have it like prepped.
If it's prepped, if you click on the prepared thing in the top right above your spell list, it should list
Oh,
only the ones
okay.
prepared.
Thank you.
Click
That
on it
helps.
again to untoggle it.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I got it. Okay.
Anyways, you cast Speak with Animals,
Yeah,
and
I
the cat's going to look down and go, well, very nice of you to bring me home.
Yeah. Sorry it took so long.
It's fine. You brought me back. That's appreciated.
Okay. Well, be safe. I'm sure you'll be okay with all this. These seem to love you.
Yes, they seem to have been concerned.
And she'll like look at the rest of them and be like, "I brought him back. See, I told you."
You did.
So if maybe in the future, we stop by again, and maybe we need some help or something. Maybe help us out.
Then I'll be sure to assist in any way I can.
Awesome. Can you give me a name now?
Yes, my name is Stephen. It's great because you just.
Hate
Uh-huh.
that name. You're very connotation to that name. I don't.
Why did
What
you
am I-
give the cat a people name?
I love when cats have people name. Hey, you have a cat with a people name.
Toby's not that much of a people name.
Toby is
It's a-
absolutely a people name.
It's a people name. Anyway,
I've never met a Toby beyond my cat, so therefore
Toby Maguire.
I've never met him.
Toby
Steven.
exists.
eh.
Anyways, Steven.
She goes. She just looks down. She just bends up. Okay, Steven. Okay, well, if we ever need help, well, be sure to contact.
Don't expect anything combat related, but
I did. No. Obviously,
if you need
not.
someone to get somewhere you can't, I could probably help with that.
Very good. I appreciate that. That's actually very useful. Thank you.
Now,
Well, it has been a
I'm going to
pleasure.
get back to home.
Yeah, have fun. It's been a pleasure. All you and all your friends, stay safe. Hopefully you don't need me again. You don't need us to take you back home, but if you do, we'll be happy to do it. If somehow
Hopefully
you end
not.
up elsewhere you shouldn't be. Yeah, hopefully not. Alright. We're gonna go now. Bye. And she'll wave and she'll just be like, okay, cool, we're good. Let's go. Let's go. She'll say that to the rest of the group. We're good. His name's Steven.
That's not a cat name.
How'd he get the name Steven?
Oh no.
Did he pick it? Did someone give it to him?
He probably heard someone call and he decided, I was like, I don't know. I would not. It doesn't really matter to me.
Cat Spy Network.
But yeah, if we ever need help or something, maybe we can call on them. So, I'm gonna look around.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any trees for the future?
Yes.
Trees that I can sort of mark a little bit as like
Hey.
a. No, I'm so serious. This is like a.
No, I know exactly what you're doing, but Jill just mimed me going, no.
We're in a forest, Michelle. Of course you could find a tree to
Yeah,
mark.
there are absolutely trees that are
trees.
large enough for what you need.
I need a big tree. Okay.
We're in a forest. Are you saying there's not big trees?
Shut up. Leave me alone. I'm not the nature person. Vizzy is. I am not. I am a dumbass.
You know that at least where Kaz fought
No.
Maceguy, there are trees that are like
Oh
10
no,
foot
I'm
wide.
looking for one like right outside, like right here. Like I'm
Yeah.
not looking for one further in. I'm looking.
Yeah,
for one.
you would be able to find one that would match up with what you're looking for. Yeah, don't worry
So
about
she
that.
will go to like that tree specifically, and she will put like she'll take like a little, I guess like a dagger or like, and she'll like mark a star shape on it.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
could probably druidcraft that in as well.
You
Oh,
could
I
also do that.
That's true. That's what she'll do. She'll druid craft it in then. Just want to hurt it. So she'll like druid craft a little star shape like at the bottom of the tree.
Alright. Well, as lovely as this little pit stop has been, we have someone to go interrogate about why they put a fucking fire crystal that can explode in a mountain.
Yep.
Well then, Fezzy, there's something that I'd like you to ask the cats.
Okay.
Are there any shape changes in the village?
Hey, cat, Steven,
David!
Steven!
Dave! Steven!
Yes. Yes.
Are
I shouldn't have
there
told
any
you my
shape
name.
changers here?
No shape changers to my knowledge. There's definitely at least one person here who is descended from shape changers, mind you.
Oh.
They don't have the same powers I think you're referring to, but
Okay.
they certainly do have some leftover oddities.
No. She'll just look back at the rest of the group and go, no, there's no shape changers.
Hmm.
We can go.
I
But anything else that you guys need to do here, or wish to do here?
Ra is petting every cat on the way to the cart. Any cat that crosses Rot's path gets pet.
Mercilessly petting every cat. Rot, you are able to pet virtually every feline that comes across you, or you come across. Either way. And then you guys load yourselves up into the cart, and unless there's something I'm missing, you guys begin making your way over to Orfiz.
How far away are we from Orfiz?
Not that far, to be totally honest. Really, you could basically just follow along the railroad tracks, and it would be somewhat safe. I mean, you really haven't heard of any train thieves, so it'd just be a matter of sticking along the railroad tracks, and you'll be good to go. About, what, a day and a half, maybe? Not even?
As we get there, Darius is gonna
train schedule.
As we get on the tracks, Darius is gonna go, Asha, I need you to listen to me. We're not going to intentionally fuck with the trains.
I need to say, you are going alongside the train tracks because I don't want you guys to get hit by a fucking train.
That's why I am saying that.
Okay.
What?
I know it's tempting, and it would be very funny to knock over, like, a non-passenger train. Don't do it. You don't want to give Granny more PTSD.
No, she's clearly carrying enough in the old bones. No.
Are you talking about me? Are you talking to me about that?
What?
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 Are you talking about me back there?
No, we're talking about somebody else's Granny.
No.
How does that
Not.
begin?
The trains are fine. They get people where they need to go. It is not like the government controls the trains.
Try something when we get on the train.
We're not on the train.
I mean, on the cart. I meant the cart. I meant the cart.
It
okay?
is similar enough to a train.
You guys are saying train over and over, so it confuses my brain.
The train.
In Spain?
Fuck off. The cart.
The train in Spain that runs mostly on the plane.
No! No!
Planes.
Boom, 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 boom.
Cart.
Say
All right, we get into the cart.
Bye, yo, man.
We need to do something so that guy can't follow us, right?
Which guy?
It would help.
The guy that's following us?
Suero?
That guy.
Yeah.
The one currently hunting us for sport for the family.
If we could delay him somehow, that would be very nice.
I see, but when I do like my magic. Yeah.
Is that what magic is, Fizzy?
Fizzy, it is, yeah. Yeah.
No, Fizzy did that actual hand gesture.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't make paths, right? We don't make tracks. I don't know if you look behind us, but you don't see anything when we're walking.
Not work on a cart.
I mean, we can try.
It
Worth a
theoretically should.
So I will use all my uses of Pass Without a Trace. So all my second and third level spell slots today.
How many is that? Just for my reference.
I'm checking. Hold on.
Asha, how come you can't make this thing hover?
Pass
I can't get.
Well, even then,
it's 5
Pass Without
uses
Trace
total, Connor.
It'll be 5 uses total. Okay, so 5 hours of
Yeah.
not having any tracks, which that's a pretty good amount of time to
That's
just
more
be
than
totally
half.
dark.
I can actually add to that.
You what?
For 2 of those hours, I can use Long Strider to give an extra 10 movement speed.
So you can make us go a little quicker. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'll cut down the time to about a day and a quarter then. We'll just say that. Yeah. So basically, using 5 uses of Pass Without Trace means that for those 5 hours, your vehicle will not leave tracks. I don't know if there is an official ruling anywhere that says it does or does not work on vehicles, but in my opinion, I think it should. It makes sense.
This vehicle is also something you can use in combat.
Yeah, like you can also use this in combat, like so we could even make the argument that it's a construct. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm fine with it.
It counts.
Cool.
Yeah.
Art is a character.
I mean, I did make a token for it.
Characters. Yeah.
So
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned, you're good to go.
I mean, you made the rules. You get to decide. So, you know,
Yep.
that's better for us because then, yeah, it'll like get on a hard track for a bit. I don't know. It seems like it might work, and it's always. Then if it does work, cool. And since it does work, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put something on the map that this is only going to be for you, the players. It does not reflect on anything for the characters. So I will also remove it from the map at a later date when it is no longer necessary. But basically, this is the track, the path that you've taken so far that was observable and was not being hidden.
Good.
Yep, at least the path of the carts, which then had to go like this. And then for the next 5 hours, it goes blank. Like it just stops. Also, yeah, you're right. It goes over here. So for like a good handful of hours, it just disappears completely, and then your path is going to pick back up like that. So you're basically, you've disappeared for a good section of land. You will fuck up his tracking of you guys very badly.
As we should, and it gives us time. So
Yep, it does also give you time.
cool. Yeah. That's good. So it's gonna take like a day and a quarter for us to get.
To get to
Get it.
Orfiz. Yep. So if there are any scenes you guys want to have in the meantime, go ahead. I won't stop you.
Jill. Maybe we have that scene we talked about. Where Granny goes to talk
Yes.
to Rot.
Yes. if
Are
don't
you
mind
ready?
me also trying to get a cat into my chair at the same time as this is happening.
I noticed.
Don't worry about it. She's stubborn.
Just become a hermit.
Um,
Well, if it's Sermit just keeps having trouble jumping into the chair.
uh, well, Granny's just finding Rot just to like have a little chat. Nothing like cornering or it, whatever. Now she does it.
Look, Cleo doesn't do what you want, Jill. You know this. Also,
Yeah, yeah.
do you want to trade, Jill? You can have this melted cat.
Oh, he's
No.
so melted.
I like my flame broiled cat.
So yeah, Granny just I don't know where would Rot be typically in like just kind of during the day, I guess, while we're traveling. Would he be mostly in his room?
Either in his room or just like in like the common area. Probably with just a book.
Mm-hmm.
Just chilling.
Well,
My little guy.
yeah, if you're in the common room reading, she'll probably plop down. Yeah. What you doing there? What you reading?
Just history books. It's really dry, actually. I really like it though.
You seem to enjoy it.
Just as like history of Eke, so like as a total, like all of it. It's like, yeah.
You're basically reading an encyclopedia.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, it
Reading
actually
it.
says volume 1 on it, and you look over and
It's
there's
like-
like 7 other volumes.
Wow.
like pre-schism right now. It's really interesting.
Yeah. Did you well you've mentioned this mentor a couple times. Did you do a lot of reading with them?
Well, yeah, it's quite a bit of reading. On more academic subjects than the entire history of Ekis, but
Volume 1.
volume 1. It's more of a magical sort of history and the like.
Right, because you said they were a big old wizard, right?
Still are.
Still are. Right.
Extremely powerful. Very talented. Very skilled.
Mhm.
Incredible teacher. It was a really great time in my life.
Well, what happened? Why you're not with the mentor now?
Well, I just believe it or not, I'm not great at magic. In fact, I'm quite bad at it, apparently, and so yeah, stuff happened to me. I it's like an internship that I abandoned of my own volition.
You left.
Certainly.
I know Rot's wearing a mask, but your face is very.
This is why Rot wears a mask, because if not, read that bitch like a book.
I am going to ask to insight Rot
Yeah.
just to see if I can, if Granny like picks up on any sort of like shadiness. Although that's only a 7 + 5.
Mouse is like, trying to get to
12.
Would that be just deception, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of hides
Yes,
you.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get there. My foundry is making me wanna die. Oh, I forgot. I don't play God anymore. I don't have a plus a bajillion to like deception.
No.
You
I
also
have
have
like a -1.
Don't you also have disadvantage because of the smell?
No, I
Or is that just
No.
or is that just persuasion?
That's mostly on. That's mostly on persuasion.
Okay.
I don't think that would
That's
bother
There are
me.
very few situations where your stink will affect how well you lie.
I'm trying so hard to click this and it's just not coming up. Please. If my thing accidentally rolls deception 100 times, I'm so sorry.
It's gonna be like, "Wah-da-da-da-da-da."
Don't worry, it will.
100 dice.
Let me see. Yeah, it didn't.
Just
roll
a
for me
D20,
when I
right?
clicked it. Yeah.
It's just a D20.
I
Hold on,
don't
let
know
me
how-
see.
Yeah, maybe it
Just a little
rolls differently. How
D20.
do we?
Hold on.
It changed the sheet and it doesn't let me fucking roll. Even I can't do it.
Yeah, it's just fully not like a clickable button, despite looking like a clickable button.
Hey, Jill.
Yeah, I rolled really high. I don't even need to tell you. I just rolled
What'd you
super
roll?
duper high.
You
It's
roll
like if you
two.
add it all together, it's like a really big number. It's like a 4.
Okay.
Damn.
I was like, you probably can't even get there if you're counting. It's so high.
I cannot count that high. Confirmed.
Yeah, I
I
only have
definitely
5
can't.
fingers. I can't get that.
He
How
can't
many
count
did you
that
say?
high, to be fair. Fizzy
Uh,
can't count
number.
that high.
I'm yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, 4. 4.
So she would probably pick up a hint of the awkwardness, let's say. She'll just be like, well, you're doing magic pretty good, as far as I can see.
It's not the kind of magic I initially planned on doing.
Not what you want to be doing. You still holding out hope for that?
I think I can get there. I think if I just really try harder, I could probably do it. I need to be better.
Well, I always say work smarter, not harder. Sometimes putting all that effort in, to push a giant boulder, wait, let me start this metaphor over again. You can't break a boulder in one hit, You gotta hit it in the right spot several times. And, not as hard.
Not to throw magic all over your metaphor, but with one well-placed hit from a wizard, you absolutely can shatter a boulder in one hit. I can't.
You
currently,
ruined
but one
my
day.
metaphor.
I'm so sorry.
This is a non-magic metaphor. This is
No, it's a
about
magic
me.
metaphor. A magic four, if you will. But no, I much prefer. Why do smarter and or harder when you can do smarter and harder? Work smarter and harder. That's what I have never said, but have just said it now for the first time. That's
Well,
sort of
as
where
long-
I'm at.
I suppose that's fair.
But
She just reaches out and pats him on the head a little. I would ruffle the hair, but I don't want to yank. I don't know how firmly it is. I've got half a skull there.
It's like a pretty tight ponytail, I'm not going to lie to you. Sort of traction alopecia on my forehead.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to achieve your goals. You're a bright young man.
That's the plan, and thank you very much. Gotta get it done in a year. Or else.
That's right. And we will, as soon as we're not being hunted for sport.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get picked for another person's hunting for sport after this. It'll just be a continuous cycle.
Do you have any
never
other?
know.
Do you have ideas for how to tackle this issue yet?
Not really long-term ones, but it would require a lot of looking and finding and probably working for other people. Because if we could get a higher level spell, something along the lines of something I surely can't do yet, teleportation magic would really put us a step above, because you can't track that. But again, that's 30 steps from now and 17 favors later. Oh, for my condition! Oh no, I haven't been thinking about that at all. No.
Right.
That's not my priority currently. Got a whole year for that.
Nah, right.
I'll figure something out.
That's true. We got a whole year. She'll just kind of let that drop. Now tell me more about this history of Eke.
Oh, of course. So back in the early days,
and she just listens to Rat info dump.
Fully, Rat puts the book down and is just from memory being like, at the beginning of time, this is how this happened.
Oh my god! Just like
The island formed this many years ago through the use of volcanic
wow,
eruptions.
I didn't know that. Wow, that's so cool.
And Rat will talk for as long as Granny will listen.
Granny will listen, so it's probably till like dinner time.
We're like starting on volume 2, it's like, and then after the skit, you're not gonna believe this. So
Just
the
like
birds that live on this continent are insane.
Oh, do tell me about the birds.
This comes to dinner, correct? This is the conversation walking into dinner?
Yes.
Darius is just gonna lean over to Kaz and go, I know this is, a kettle calling the pot black, but why do we have nerds? So many nerds on this cart, Kaz.
Just what was your question?
Why do we have so many nerds on this cart, Kaz?
I don't know.
My favorite kind of bird that currently lives on the
Wow.
Its feathers are this beautiful blue color. It's
Oh,
just
I love
continuous.
blue. I'd love a blue bird.
Between bites at dinner. Love.
like a grandmother listening to a grandson. Just like,
Talk about Minecraft.
Does Rod actually remove his mask to eat in front of people, or does he leave the
Yeah,
mask
does he
on
do
and just
that
keep
now?
talking?
Because we know what he looks
I
like.
think on a normal day, I don't think Rot would. But getting into the groove of just being normal and like talking to people, Rot just casually is like, yeah, so that.
Ah. Info dumping made Rod take his mask off.
Rot forgot all his insecurities.
Yay!
It's like, finally, I can talk about things that I know. My little scrungo. But yeah.
Any other scenes that need to occur?
I want
Is
to
he?
bother Asher.
Okay.
Oh no.
Likely, probably in the lab working on shit.
Yeah. So I want to bother Asher.
Yep, the helmet, and there's a new gun on the table.
She knocks before entering. She didn't like enter a room.
Wait,
But like in a. It's like, hi.
is
What
he?
are you doing here?
Oh, there is a.
Is there a table to sit on?
Yeah. So there's a massive table in the middle where, like, there are some spots that Fizzy could definitely just sit.
Like she like perches on the table,
Mm.
like fully. She like climbs up and she's just like, and like leans forward. She's like, "What is all this stuff? I mean, all that you do is like so different. I don't even
What?
use metal. I don't like metal. It's just a thing." She like taps something. She taps like the helmet.
Well, I don't have any other materials that are stronger, better at absorbing physical blows or magical blows. I actually find it is easier for me to work with metal than wood, for instance. You can add more to it. It is sort of like how you're able to craft things into plants and such. I am able to do the same thing with metal.
Magic?
Magically modifying metal's essence. It is a way of asking the metal to take a shape that I want it to take. But most of it is applying heat and applying force.
Oh wow,
Where?
that's so interesting. That's so cool. It's
Mhm.
not really. I don't know. I don't really know any of this stuff. Like you have to understand. I'm just like, this is so different. It's so like, it's foreign and everything. I never even saw metal. Well, that's not true. A couple of my siblings had swords and stuff, but when they came back down. But otherwise, we don't really have metal at home. It's mushrooms and.
Wait, you come from a
Wood.
world where you talk to the mushrooms and they give you the things that you need.
Well, the mushrooms don't give us the things that we need.
Oh,
The
okay.
mushrooms actually are the opposite of that. The other mushrooms take from us. It's not nice. I don't
Well-
like them very much. The ones at home, not all of them are bad, but like the ones that are taking stuff from us are.
So, like people. Some of them are okay, but most of them are garbage.
I mean, most of the people I've met have been pretty cool, actually. Like there have been some bad people, like some of the people at the party, like that, like Amador. Amador's not a nice person. He killed someone.
No.
But like, and the people who wanted to put us in jail, not very nice. But like, I've also met some very nice people. I met you guys.
Where?
I met all the other people that we've met, like all the people that we've met like in bars and stuff, and the people that did the wrestling, they were really cool. And yeah, all of the people we've met, well, most of the people we've met have been
Mhm.
pretty cool, but I don't know. I haven't met a ton of people. So all people at the academy have been really. The headmaster of the academy, really nice. He liked listening to me. It was really neat.
Now, there are two things there. The
Yeah.
first thing, you will always find the friendliest people in the pubs.
Oh, really?
Where?
Okay.
Always the friendliest people. Really,
Okay.
especially if you start drinking just a little bit with them and have a bit of conversation, you can find the friendliest people in the pubs.
I haven't had a lot to drink, honestly.
It's probably better that you don't. The word for it is inebriation. It is a.
That's a big word.
It is a big word. Basically, it means that they are just silly and happy. Usually, some people just get very violent, and some people just fall asleep. But most people, they become a lot more friendly.
What happens if they get violent?
Sometimes they start just picking a fight with people, and sometimes they just fight. Usually, at some point, either they pass out themselves or they get knocked out by somebody who is bigger.
Okay.
The other thing to keep in mind, especially with someone like this headmaster, there are some people in this world that are truly only nice to you as long as you have something that you can give them. Like whether.
Go ahead, finish.
I was gonna say it is like if you can give them information or money, or you have a thing that you can do that would be useful to this person. Sometimes that is just why they're friendly. They think if they're friendly to you, that they can get something from you. It is not always the case, so it is important to take a look at the situation.
It's nice to people when you first meet them.
Well, it is always good to be nice to people when you first meet them.
Are you okay?
It is a very complicated question.
Okay, well, yesterday when you were talking to that tiger thing, you were very mad at him.
Where?
Why were you mad at him?
Because they are kind of people that take on information and hold it all on their own. Those are the kind of people that often cannot be trusted with that information or that object. Up here on the surface, about 30 cycles ago, we had 2 apocalypses basically happen at once.
Heard about that. I wasn't here, obviously, but a couple of my siblings were up here when that happened, and they told us about it when they came back. But they didn't say a lot about it because I wasn't. They survived it, and they didn't think it was useful to talk about. Because it didn't really matter to them, because that kind of is why they came back. They were like, oh, well, I'm gonna go home if I have to deal with this all the time.
It isn't something that we've had to deal with again, but it brings forth the argument. It is more important for the people to know. It is more important for the people, all of the people, to be able to come up with their own conclusions, to band together and come up with a solution. It is not up to a few individuals to control everything.
Yes, but you also said that people want information and they always want information. What happens if everybody knows whatever the thing was I don't know. And then they all freak out and then everything goes crazy.
It will be like when the stars, they moved. The stars all moved. There is a period of 30 days where the stars were just not where they were supposed to be. And then the stars went back.
Oh.
But people barely even talk about it. In fact, if you spend a lot of time talking about it in the wrong circles, people will think you have gone around the bend. You have lost a bit of your mind. In fact, there are many people who are in the process of trying to get rid of all of the scientific evidence that this even happened. Because they just don't want to believe that. You're going to get that. It's just some people will believe things, some people will not. But
Who's trying to get rid of all the scientific? Who's doing that?
I don't. It is.
It's not nice.
It is not nice at all. They're the kind of people who would say, "Oh no, the gods know all, and we are dumb, and we don't need to know anything." And oh no, we give all the control to the government. They know what they're doing. And oh no, we don't want to give people the license to marry whoever it is that they want to. Or oh, this race of people is bad. Or oh no, if you come from this area of Akas, you are bad. It's the same people that are trying to war between the north and the south of Akas. Just because one is of Dwarvish descent and one is of Elvish descent, it does not make one better than the other. In fact, they're both good at different things.
Please know that Fizzy is looking at you with the most confused look in her life. Like, she is so confused by all of this right now. This is all happening?
Wait, it is all happening. It is a lot. I know it is a lot. And to be frank, it is all stupid. It is very, very stupid.
If I wasn't looking for someone, and if I didn't like all of you guys, and if I wasn't trying to figure out how to save home, I would go back home. This is a lot. As much as I like all the stuff I've been learning, and I've been learning so much, and it's been so fun. And I love hanging around with you guys. It's been great. And, you know, the stars are helping. The stars are helping me. See, now I want to know about the stars moving. No one ever told me that.
Wait. The best advice I can give you, Fizzy, is to pick one thing.
This is giving me a headache.
Wait. Pick one thing. But even though there are all these problems, even though there is a whole lot to learn, the best way to combat people's agendas, people's trying to control other people, is knowledge. Knowledge is the key to having the weapons that you need. If you know about a thing, it becomes less scary. Like, for instance, you were looking for how a way to save your home, no? If you get the knowledge of how to save your home, all of a sudden, the mushrooms become a bit less scary, no?
The only way I've seen to save everything is to get rid of it by burning it down. Not really. Not really.
There is, I can promise you, there is at least one other answer. You know me, I am fine with going down there and burning them all.
Dude, that's home.
Wait, so it is not a good solution?
No.
But there is another solution that is out there. We just have not figured it out yet. It is out there. Just the solution to all of our problems. It is out there. We just need to find that.
Well, I'm gonna stay in here while you work, if that's okay.
That's perfectly fine.
I like learning about things I don't know.
All right.
And that's a lot, apparently. I guess that's a lot more than I thought. But that's okay.
All of these books, all of these materials, it is a lot.
She goes, I don't know how to look at any of those. I look at them and they're just a bunch of pictures and lines and curves and circles. Rot promised me he'd teach me how to read, but it hasn't happened yet because we've been busy and we're being chased.
We are being chased. That is probably the worst part about all of this. Honestly, if I could park this somewhere and we could just sit, even for part of a season, just to learn things, just to research, just to teach each other things. Heck, even just go to a place where we can make food that each other knows. do those kinds of things, that would be perfect. As soon as we are not being actively chased, we will at least look to do that. We're a little bit, the saying goes under the gun. Where there's a bit of pressure. Under the gun meaning the symbolism of a gun pointing at you actively. It is bad usually. But once we start to come up with some of these solutions and get some of these done, there will be time for us to slow down. And during those slow times, that is when we can get things done.
I'm gonna stay here while you work.
Well,
You guys
absolutely.
work, I'll just watch you. If you want to explain it to me while you're doing it, that'd be great.
Oh, I can absolutely do that. So over here is the helmet that I am currently working on. Obviously, my head is not as thick as realistically most of everyone else here. I couldn't take a shot to the head like someone like Dana could. But what I'm trying to do is take a piece of glass that you see over there in the furnace. This glass, what it will do is it will be able to stop physical objects from piercing through the actual middle plate of the helmet. So that way things don't smack me right in the face. So as we compress the sand and it begins to liquefy, and Asher will explain as he's working on the helmet.
And listen to every single word.
We let 2 of the 3 smart people info dump this session.
Yeah! That's a victory.
I can make it 3.
Davis is not the info
Tana goes
dumping
to
type.
talk to
You can talk to her, but she's not an info dumper.
Kidding.
Don't worry.
Also, Houdini's
He's going
the
to get
cutest
the opportunity to info dump on it at Fizzy at some point because this is what she
going-
does.
I'm going
I
insane over Houdini's white little paws.
mean, what would Darius be doing?
This
Oh,
isn't
what
working
she's
for you right now,
usually
is it, Jill? This isn't working out.
Sure.
You didn't
No.
unmute? Oh, the Discord fucked up.
No, we watched.
Oh,
Also, you said what's Daris doing? The same she does whenever we're traveling. She sits in her room and stares at her board and tries to figure out what she's missing.
yeah.
Her door is open. Like, you could see her sitting on the floor staring at it the entire day.
Well, out of politeness, Tana would knock on the door frame.
It's open.
And she'll have a mug of coffee with it to hand to you.
Ooh. And she'll make grab hands at it. Give,
Like,
please.
I spend a lot of time in here, don't you?
Well, what else am I doing with my free time?
Living?
La Vida Loca.
Tell me about them. Your partner, that is.
When?
I
They're just-
mean, know what they look like, but never really gone into the things you did together to have fun, or the places you like to see, or even things like the colors they liked.
Bryn was nice. That's always the first thing that came up whenever someone met them. They were just so kind. They were a bit adventurous, which is probably how they ended up following me to crime scenes. That's how we met. They had just come to the Underdark. They were looking for people. And they saw me working a case from a distance, and curiosity got the better of them. And they came and approached me. And even when I told them I didn't need someone to follow me around, didn't stop them. Eventually I quit telling them to leave. great conversationalist when they weren't in an episode. When they're in an episode, they're a different person, though. It's hard not knowing what's real and what's not. Hearing things, seeing things. Took me a little while to figure it out. They were very good at hiding the fact of what they were. Especially considering they were in the Underdark, no one had any reason to think a changeling would come down there. But there they were.
Suppose everyone hides a bit of themselves, except to the people they really trust and love.
I don't know if they were trying to better themselves. I think they were just looking for something new. They had a fledgling writing career. They were starting to get popular up top, but they were looking for inspiration. And somehow that was me. The muse, whatever word they wanted to use for it. They were always a better wordsmith than I ever have been.
I don't know, you're pretty good.
Yeah, well, not all of us can be best-selling authors, though. They're the only reason I'm still alive, you know? And she'll make a motion at the cut. I told them not to follow me while I was going to investigate what was supposed to be an empty crime scene. But their gut told them to come back. And they found me, throat slit open, trying to die on the floor. Probably would have if I hadn't had the luck of having an assistant that was a field medic. We came to the surface after that. A little while later, we got married. And then little Ari was born. We were on knees since... Nice? How the fuck do you pronounce? Nisa.
Nisa.
We were on Nisa for pretty much the entire time we were on the surface. I got a house over there. Oh god. The royalty checks are still coming to that house. We'll worry about that later. I just hope no one's robbed us.
There's someone... My best friend sounds pretty similar, if I'll be honest.
The one that the Archfey took?
Is a bit timid, afraid of things that are unknown, but as the biggest art you can imagine. I kind of dragged him along in a lot of my adventures.
Also what you do to Kaz.
I'd say it goes a bit both ways with her.
Fair
But
enough.
he had this side to him that's just exhilarating. He loved adventure, but was too afraid to do anything on his own. He was very curious about the world, and a bit cautious as well, when curiosity didn't override it. But he was quite good at talking, and could diffuse most any situation. Kept us out of trouble quite a bit, he did. But he also didn't like fighting at all. He'd step in front of an angry boar if it was a threatening child, but he wouldn't even raise an arm to fight it. I had to save his ass quite a bit. But everyone has someone out there. You make them better. And I'm sure that you'll find Rin someday.
Okay. I will. And if I don't, well, let's say it's better if I find them.
Let you get back to it, but it helps sometimes to come back with a fresh head. If you ever want to take a step outside, they'll all be there.
I know.
Anna will pat this kind of on the shoulder and then quietly head off.
She'll finish her coffee before coming down for dinner.
So, assuming there are no other scenes, right? Because I don't want to interrupt anybody. All right. After about a day and a quarter, your cart will finally pull in and start to see Orfiz a little ways off in the distance. Several railroad tracks lead into the actual city itself, and you see that it has been built right at the base of a mountain and has begun to actually eat away at part of it. A very far edge of the actual mountain where the city is butting up against it has begun to be shorn away and carefully carved. So a platform where other nicer buildings can be built on top of it. At the very center of the city, you can see that there's a long octagonal pillar that goes upwards a ways and then begins to burrow its way into the mountain with several supports holding it up. The buildings here are angular. They have hard edges, bits of metal. In some places, they will even just be built into the mountain itself if they're close enough. It is a different animal from the ones that you've seen in the south, but almost more of a marvel in its own way. The engineering and the architecture that's been performed here is remarkably well done, almost to the point of disobeying the laws of physics, to your knowledge. The actual roads themselves have been organized in a way to be very, very accessible for carts such as yours, which is able to go through the streets with little to no issues. Sidewalks are present for individuals to walk alongside the road without ever being at risk of being hit. And there are even what look to be guardsmen that are present and directing traffic for carts and, in some cases, the motorized vehicles that appear to putter their way around the actual city themselves, driven only by the wealthiest.
You're saying this has a ye-olde traffic light?
It has a ye old traffic light, which is basically it's a guy directing traffic.
Incredible.
Yeah. As always, you guys make your way over to the train station first and foremost to try and find any maps. But there, you see that there is a bedraggled-looking man wearing what looks to be almost like a bathrobe, who is dousing something onto a pile of maps and is screaming at several guards who are trying to pull him away from it, saying, "They're not finished! They're not finished! I'm not letting anybody see them!" And he tosses some fireball at the actual pile of maps and burns them all.
Connor?
Yeah?
Your self-insert.
Yeah, I know.
What does the bedraggled mean?
The bedraggled means like unkempt, so their hair is a mess, they're not well shaven,
I
stuff
thought it was
like that.
bedraggled.
Bedraggled. Bedraggled? Hello?
No, I can't criticize Becca. I'd never heard the word said out loud before.
Well, it's bedraggled.
It's not bedraggled. There's no space there, dear.
Bedraggled is very good, though.
Although bedraggle is very fun, and also I would like to use bedraggle as an NPC's name.
Bedraggling
Best
leads
friends
to
with Highway
bedraggled.
Robbie.
Don't you bring Highway Robbie into this?
And You will watch as the guards begin to pull the man away, mumbling something about now there's not going to be any maps for the next couple of weeks.
Why?
Because Connor didn't finish the map because it's a lot of work.
That's because Connor keeps making his maps very complex.
I know. I do. So, you instead have to make do and go with directions. There are a few guards who are willing to offer stuff like this, or officers, whatever you'd like to refer to them as.
Not officers. Guards are better.
Yeah.
I'd say better.
That's fair. Guardsmen. There are a few guardsmen and women who are willing to give directions around the city. Depending on what you guys ask for, they can direct you to whatever you need. In this case, since you guys are looking to get a hold of Amador,
we have a standing appointment with Amador.
You have a standing appointment with Amador. They would direct you to Tor in the Mavel, which is Tower Indomitable. It's the tall octagonal pillar that you saw kind of going into the mountain itself slightly. If you have any standing engagements with a judge or similar individual, Tor in the Mavel would be your best bet.
All right.
Understood.
Just a small standing arrangement. Nothing.
Just a standing arrangement. That's
all right. Making your way over to the tower.
We're going to go the long way.
Okay.
Oh no.
Asher wants to just kind of get a feel a little bit for the city. We're gonna take a detour, probably out by like the front, and then head kind of back in.
Okay.
Asher is looking for something specifically.
You're looking for something specifically? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Puttering around the actual city itself, kind of seeing the sights, you would see a few things, namely that it looks like a lot of the locations that are further back to the actual mountain itself, those appear to be a little bit more higher end as locations go, or wealthier establishments. But you can see that this place has all sorts of things. It has a train station, of course. It has what looks to be a park with a nice, well-sculpted fountain in the very middle. Up in the upper district, there does appear to be a museum, namely the one that I mentioned to you guys before, the Museum of Artifacts and Oddities. There appears to be a necropolis down towards the lower end section of town. It is almost more like a what's a good way of describing it? Like a place to pay respects to the dead, but not actually where the dead are stored. They're like
a mausoleum,
almost like a mausoleum. Yeah,
shrine.
Describing it. Shrine, a mausoleum. They're all good, very good descriptions. Basically, they're like standing walls with little boxes, which have markers for each individual and spots where you can slide something out and put something in as an offering to the dead. There are a fair number of bars present, including one named The Just Verdict. There is what appears to be a smith, a few clubs.
Clubs?
Clubs, yes.
Like
no, wrong kind of club, dear.
You have got to elaborate. That's why I asked.
There's an EDM club here in Orfiz.
Well, if anyone was going to create an EDM, it would be the dwarves.
It would be the dwarves.
Watch all of those
work hard, play hard.
judges get high on drugs and listen to like EDM while sucking on pacifiers and glow
It's
sticks.
a silent disco. It's a silent disco.
Everyone's got headphones in.
Someone's been to a silent disco.
It's
Those
weird.
things are the weirdest things on the planet.
It's weird. Sorry. You would also see that there's a location named Barnum's Scriptorium. It appears to be some kind of a bookstore of some sort. There are also several locations for faith, One referred to as the Hollow Monastery, and one referred to as the Bethel of the Serpent Lord.
Bethel.
Bethel is just an antiquated term for like cathedral or church. There is also what appears to be a butcher, and at the far back there is also a pharmacy and a mining company. Is there anything important that I'm missing? There's also a jeweler and a tailor, amongst a few other less important things that I didn't make or describe because who cares? What in particular were you looking for out of curiosity? It's because it's entirely possible I could have just forgotten to put something in.
No, mostly that Asher was looking for anything that stood out to him in front of the village.
Oh, in front of the village. Nothing here.
Okay. All right. I think the only other thing Asher's clocking is that Museum of Artifacts and Oddities. We'll hit that on the way back. But to
The bookstore.
Well, yeah, in the bookstore, yes. Definitely in the bookstore.
Jeweler.
Oh yeah, you need the jewelry. You know what? We'll worry about splitting up after
There's a lot
we've
of
seen
things
Amador.
you guys want to get.
Yeah. I need diamonds.
I need to go see the mining company after this for reasons.
First
Well,
things
that's-
first, and then we shall go all the places.
Yeah, let's go see our very good friend, Amador Bello.
Oh, Amador.
Bello.
Bello. It is Bello.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Two L's
that's my
in
bad.
most Spanish languages tends to be pronounced as a Y.
You are
Bello.
right.
Michelle's always here to correct us.
Yeah.
I know.
Especially since my grandmother's name was Bella.
Bello.
Ah.
And also just for the English speakers here, you can literally call it the Tower Indomitable. In Espanol, it would be Tor Indomavel, or a variation on Spanish, I believe, because I think I actually used Portuguese for that. I can't remember.
That makes sense. It doesn't say because that doesn't sound Spanish, but like.
No, I
it
think Spanish is like Tor Indomavel, Indoma something. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's a variation.
All cognates.
Either way. You guys make your way over to the tower. In front, you would see that there appear to be a few guards who are present. They will hold their hands up until you stop. And one of them will go, "Do you have a meeting you need to go to?"
Standing appointment with Amador.
Judge Bello. Very well. Of course, we're going to have you leave your cart out here. That is obvious. We do not have enough room for carts to be driven inside of the tower, nor any stair room for a cart. Weapons are to stay in sheaths at all times. If you remove a weapon from a sheath or a holster, looking pointedly at Granny, then you will be considered hostile immediately and you will be shot or attacked on sight. We will reserve the right to do so. Please, for our sakes and for yours, do not remove your weapons.
All right. I'll
They
be
look
good.
at Granny. Darius looks at Asher.
Well, the thing is, Granny is visibly armed with a gun.
Yeah, I know.
she's
That's
got
why
that-
Darius
that
looks at Asher
sexy
instead.
thigh holster.
The sexy thigh holster.
Uh-huh. Well,
You're elderly.
it's not the sexy thigh holster. It's just a thigh holster, and it's sexy because it's. We're moving on.
You're right.
No, continue.
No,
No,
go
keep
on.
explaining.
Tell me how sexy Granny is in her thigh holster.
She's hot.
We
Oh,
do
you're
also
here,
have
Tobo.
a.
Sorry, we scared him.
We do also have another request for individuals with pets, and he will kind of point a hand over at Kaz. Please ensure that the animals stay within your control as much as possible. We would like to avoid having any critters make a mess
inside of judiciary areas. And also, as there are prisoners that can be held in other areas, we would like to avoid any potential risk to your animals. Understood?
Sure.
Are you lying to him? Are
Yes.
you lying to this man? Please make a deception check.
I
Is
don't
it
like
really a lie,
authority
though?
figures.
You can't control Ruben.
I can't
I mean-
control him.
He's a wild card.
If Ruben wants to make it, 10 or 11 deaths at this point, sure, go off.
Look, it's either I stay outside and don't go in. That's a clear sign. Natural 20.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah.
Very well.
Wait, do you have a halo you can put on Ruben out of curiosity?
No.
Not yet.
Angel.
Perfectly innocent.
Not
You
yet.
never
Very well.
give it a little
I
pet.
simply wish to issue a warning. Do not wish any harm to come to your animal.
I mean,
What?
he's pretty weak, so.
Well, that should be all the more reason to keep an eye on him, ma'am. No one wishes to lose a pet. But, you have a meeting?
Silence is telling.
You have a meeting? I'm sure his secretary or aide will confirm this. Please, go ahead.
Thank you kindly. Tip's hat.
I think at this point, Ruben's been resummoned more times than a lot of kids lose their pet goldfish and have it replaced with another.
He's died twice. It's been like a month.
Look,
Oh boy, little monkey.
You'll be fine.
Certainly been a month.
Whose fault was that for him to die?
Well, the second time was all him.
First time we were
First
all
time-
offended on Ribbon's behalf.
Yeah, first
The
one
first
was
time was kind of on us.
unfortunate.
We did kind of.
Second one was 100% on Ruben.
Yeah.
Making your
I'll
way
always
in,
blame the monkey for being a monkey.
yeah, making your way inside of the Tower Indomitable. The guardsmen will very politely let you in. They do keep an eye on you, but there is no glares of distrust from them. It is simply a calm, measured gaze of men who are there for their job and do not wish to see any harm to come to anybody here. There does not seem to be any real aggression from them. They're simply here to do a job.
Hey, Asher.
Hmm.
You have immunity in the south. What about in the north?
The immunity applies everywhere.
Alright.
Amador knows that. It simply has to do with the fact that what the fuck are they going to do? Take one of the irons from Le Hostage? They couldn't even breach the walls of the safe hold.
As you walk your way through the tower, you would see that there appears to be a lift system here at the very center of the tower itself. The rest of it is made of well-polished and well-decorated stone, some gilded with fine metals and jewels, other simply standing on their own with nice carvings and other engravings to make it simply aesthetically pleasing. A majority of it is a somewhat minimalist appearance, but it doesn't mean that they didn't go out of their way to try and make the engravings look as nice as possible. Standing on the lift, you are brought up by the loud clanking of chains as it begins to turn and pull its way up further into the actual tower itself. There, you would see that there are several directories that point you in various directions, and following the correct one, you would find yourself going towards what is listed as the judge's chambers. There, you would see that there is what appears to be like a long hallway with a few rooms that go off and have their own open doors to let people in, and each one has their own names on a placard next to the door. Some you don't recognize, some you don't care to memorize, but namely, the one you care about is Judge Amador Bello,
No, we don't have to
And-
worry about memorizing them if Rot sees them at all.
No. So.
It's like
No, they're not important. I'm not making them.
I mean, give us 5 minutes, we could make them important.
No, you don't. So you guys make your way over to the location for one Amador Bello, and there you would see inside of this small, almost like a waiting chamber, for lack of a better term. You see that there's a small desk off in the corner, and behind it you see that there's a large hulking form tapping away on a typewriter. And there appear to be a black-colored Kenku with a white circle of feathers right around their head, and they keep typing away, and they look up and go, Asher. Darius. Very nice to see you again.
Bonjour, bonjour. How have you been?
I've been doing good. For the most part.
Good. Good.
Is the judge free for the moment?
He is free. I'll let him know that you're going to be coming in.
Most appreciate
Please.
that.
Take a seat. Just wait for a bit. He'll be there in a moment. And he'll gesture for you guys to take a few seats, and there are enough for you all.
Surprising.
And you will see that White Crown kind of like pushes what looks to be like a little button on the desk. It doesn't make any noise, but you can only assume that there's some kind of a mechanism for it. As in time, you will see, stepping his way out of his office with his cane, there is, of course, Amador Bello. He's on his own. He is wearing what looks to be a set of nice but plain robes. They look to be mostly ceremonial for judge purposes, if you were to assume. He looks well put together, beard well cropped, well cut, all around a very presentable form. And he looks at you all and goes, So, how have you been, and how did it go? Out of curiosity.
Are we safe to speak here?
That is a bad sign. We may speak in my office. Come.
But a sentence. Can we talk?
Yeah, you say that, and you kind of watch him like he kind of grimaces a little bit when you
Oh
say
no,
that.
that's never a good sign.
He goes like, "Oh no, this is bad." And he lets you guys in, and you will see that inside of this office there are actually two fully armored and plated men who are inside the office themselves. You can see that their faces are mostly covered, save for what is almost like a lower, almost like a collar is the best way of describing it. It goes up enough to cover the very front of their face and protects like their throat area. And you see that they both appear to be wearing what looks like almost like earmuffs around their necks. They're not currently on, but you can see very easily they could just take them and go and put them over their ears.
Earmuffs.
That's exactly it, actually. And with a nod from the judge, these two men will both very quickly just grab their little earmuffs. They'll put them over their ears, make sure they're nice and situated. And they'll go back to standing there at ease, but with a very clear and obvious set of weapons at their disposal.
Scared for your life in here?
Here, no. But in general, yes. I've,
Amador, give me one moment.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Asher is going to cast See Invisibility.
Okay.
Ooh, good idea.
Yep.
Casting See Invisibility, you will see currently there is no signs of any sensors or invisible individuals. Say that
5 times fast.
Present in the room that is picked up by your See Invisibility. You seem to be good.
All right, we're good.
Apologies, we've had people scrying on us, and I am just waiting for the next person to be invisible, standing in a corner, waiting to gather information.
That is completely fine. No, my concerns are different. It is not a matter of protection for being a judge. It is protection for something I was once upon a time.
The Stone Heights, right?
Yes, unfortunately.
Is it because they're being hunted for sport right now?
There very much does appear to be an individual who is targeting them, yes. I can't say I blame whoever is doing so, but I'm not the same man I was once upon a time.
Are any of us?
No,
I should hope you aren't.
no. I would hope I'm not either.
So, are we gonna address the elephant in the room in this case?
So what has happened?
You still have it, don't you, Tana?
Aye,
Can you take it out, please?
certainly. Oh,
You take out this refined gemstone. You set it on the table. And Amador takes a look at it and goes, what is this, out of curiosity?
It was supposed to be a mining operation, wasn't it?
That is what he told me.
It ain't.
Did you take this
also,
from him? Did you take this from the place?
I will say Tana has it in a waterproof sack, so that way he avoids.
We
So-
weren't gonna leave it
I
Amador.
there.
told you not to take anything.
Amador, listen to me.
What is it?
Listen.
What?
They were using this in a very large cylinder that they were filling with water.
Okay.
Some sort of contraption to generate energy. This was not mining. They were testing something.
That
In
went
fact,
bad.
It went very, very bad. To the point where they created an explosion and there were 3 individuals dead. Just dead.
And this crystal, what is? Do you want to explain what it does, and why we didn't just leave it there?
This will superheat any water that it is in.
Any
And-
water.
In fact, if you wanted to hold entire nations hostage, all you have to do is say, I can put this in the ocean. The entire ocean just goes like that. There's no limit to this.
And it seems like it was made worse because they were using a modified compound in it, which consisted of water and sugar, which is part of what caused the explosion to be as bad as it was, and was attracting
I'm
things.
assuming it wasn't simply table sugar, it was something else.
Oh yeah, but sugar is an example I can give of something you could do to add to it.
So the people who are there, they are deceased.
Oh, mega dead. One of them
Very.
stuck to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, that is what I was feared. Okay.
Amador, let's just put it this way. It was bad enough. We had to run. The explosion was large enough it drew ahead and feed.
So either they would have died from the explosion or they would have died from a Hayden fiend finding them.
Where?
I mean, the Hayden Fiend did find them. It seems like at least one of them died to it.
Make a persuasion check.
Who?
With advantage, one of you. Anyone
what
who
is
has been present in this conversation.
I have a +6.
Damn, really?
Yeah,
Same.
I have expertise in it.
Yeah, that's why.
Because I was
I
like,
only
I
have
have
a
a
+1.
+5. I thought I was doing really good for myself.
All right, Jess, you feel like
Yes.
rolling it?
Doing fine.
Hold on. Connor, can I do a coin flip? Without
Coin?
Jace 1 or 2?
1.
I'm rolling it, I guess.
Okay.
At advantage.
At
At
advantage.
advantage, you of course did have assistance.
Since we can't roll on the fucking thing anymore.
I don't know why. I'll have to find another sheet. I'm gonna poke around and find another sheet that can be used.
You can always ask Sean. Sean knows Foundry really well.
If you just
Yeah.
click it, it'll roll. Oh no.
That's a
He
23.
wasn't doing it
Dang.
for us.
That's the
It
thing.
wouldn't-
I tried clicking too. It didn't work, Jace.
Yeah,
Fuck.
It won't. It won't
Yeah.
click.
Okay.
But
I don't know
23.
why. 23. Amador will go. Very well. In that case, I will say it is perfectly understandable that you removed it. And... Okay. I will say that for the purposes of this, you all were acting as... hands of the law.
You mean an
Where?
investigator?
In a sense, yes.
Amador, look,
Yes.
we have been forthright with the thing, and the only thing that was taken
Was this.
was
Yes,
this.
I
Well,
understand.
I took the journal of the people as well, but more as evidence of they're dead. Why would I have somebody's personal journal?
And that will be nice as well. I will take that from you, as
Wait.
well as this. And he'll set both on his desk. As far as my report is going to say, you all were acting as hands of the law in an investigation. I will begin. I will have no choice in this matter but to begin pressing charges on him for the deaths of his 3 employees. It's as simple as that. I have no options in this matter.
Only be manslaughter since it wasn't intentional and it was an accident.
Unfortunately, yes, that's what he will likely get away with.
Even though knew he was experimenting with hazardous materials.
Yes. Like I
Speaking-
said, I will be prosecuting him to the
Speaking
fullest extent
of-
of the law.
We're taking that.
Taking what?
The explosive stone.
No, you're not taking that. What is going to happen is one of our mages, who is employed with the government, of course, they are going to be confirming what it does and what it can do, and then it will be dispelled. If it is as dangerous as you say, we will be destroying this.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good idea to give it to the government that's currently got tensions going on with the South. That's essentially a giant bomb.
Can I roll like an insight or
Sure.
something to be like to kind of make sure that this is what's gonna
What's actually
happen?
happening? Yeah, you want to find out if he's lying. Roll insight.
Can I do the same
Or-
actually?
Anybody
Yeah,
can roll
please
insight
do.
on Amador. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't trust. this
I
man.
rolled another 7.
Lucky number.
Wah, wah.
Hold on.
So, Becca, use different dice.
What?
Use different dice.
These dice were nice to me in the previous weeks. They were nicer than the dice that were supposed to be granny.
You
dice.
gotta let them recharge their juju. You know that.
Yeah, I
You
think I
gotta
used
roll the
too much
granny dice.
juju.
I know they'll be lucky.
So that's a 12.
Hold on, Fizzy hasn't rolled yet.
Yep, I'm waiting.
Hopefully, yeah, I'll bring up the.
Same as Becca. I also rolled a 12 or 13 actually. Also, Jill has her hand up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna wait till everyone was done rolling.
I rolled
we're
a
good.
13.
I think
Okay.
yeah, 13 and 12. They're
13, 12. So true. So true.
So true.
I was just gonna say, while this is happening, Rot isn't really like giving Amador the respect that like a judge warrants because Rot does not like Amador. So Rot is sort of just like looking around the office for anything like not suspicious because it's like a public official's office, so obviously you'd have that shit hidden.
yeah.
But anything just off, weird. If I can catch any words on paper that are like
Strange.
yeah.
Rot intentionally drag mud into his office on those shoes.
With amazing
little bit.
foresight, you You just coat your boots in mud and track it all the way up the tower and all the way over
He's
to his
got-
office.
He's got Does he have prestidigitation?
Yeah,
Rot?
you could have.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
Soil
Rot
your shoes.
literally. Rot was respectful of the rest of the government building, but very casually in Amador's office was like,
That's
"My
fine.
shoes."
Oh,
That's fine. You can do so. And as
Yeah.
for like looking at things, perception check.
Mhm.
if you didn't see,
Perception.
I rolled a 21 on the inside.
I did
against
see
that.
that as well.
give me a
So
And Asher be helping, like, make sure nobody's looking at Rot while Rot is doing this.
yeah, sure. I'll give Rod advantage. Sure.
Amador does have his attention on Granny, Darius, and Asher
Yeah.
at the moment.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's that's a sure. I'll allow that.
Yeah,
you can roll with
Asher-
advantage, right?
Asher's being kind of very
Okay.
boisterous and keeping himself somewhere where the guards have to be paying attention to Asher in case Asher looks like he's going to do anything dumb. But Asher has full view of, if possible, the door, Amador, and the guards.
Do you feel good about that one?
No,
feel
I
guardian
don't.
position?
It came out as I was saying it. I'm like, fuck, I have to say that now.
Yeah.
You said perception, right?
Perception with advantage. You're getting helped.
mhm.
Okay. 17 total.
Okay. I will message you what you find.
The advantage was really nice because my other roll was a 1.
I will message you what you see.
Bless.
Granny and Fizzy. You guys don't immediately note anything distrustworthy about Amador in this moment in time. Tana, as you were trying to get a read on Amador, you note that he is genuinely uncomfortable and genuinely unhappy with this situation. He does not like the fact that this has happened. He does not like the fact that people are dead. He is absolutely going to prosecute this man, and he is absolutely aiming to have this dispelled. He doesn't want this around. If you guys are telling him the truth and it is this dangerous, he wants it destroyed. He doesn't want it to be here.
This isn't something that I currently trust either governments with, Amador. The South is the South, and the North just lost the rule and is currently having what seems like what is wanting to be the starts of a civil war happening.
A power vacuum, yes, that is absolutely what the situation is.
Well, I don't think we have the ability to destroy this, and you probably need it to prosecute him. Is there any arrangement we can have to make sure that this government does what it says it, like you say it will do, these mages?
If you'd like, I can have you present when it is dispelled.
Ooh. That's
It would not
very
be-
tempting.
It would not be very difficult to do. You're already on paper as hands of the law in this situation. It would be as simple as saying that you are allowed to be present for the dispelling. Simple as that.
Does that work for you two? And she looks at Asher and Darius, two people
Of
in a
course.
conversation.
Bear in mind, the reward still stands. You will be rewarded for this. Yes, you did take something from this place, but you make a good point. Leaving this would have been more dangerous. So, I will
Actually,
give
'cause
you
he
your full
could-
reward.
He could have just gone back, gotten it, and tried again with new people.
Yes,
Well-
and it very well could have
Mhm.
disappeared by the time I sent out someone else to take it.
Well, as this will assist in the study and destruction of the crystal, make sure that it stays safe, and you can have your legal people help look into someone who was connected to all this. There is, I believe, as it was mentioned before, there is an individual named Vurzeale who is possibly connected to this investment as well as covering it up. Some additional information of the goings on might be useful to us, and we can help make sure that no one gets their hands on this crystal while it's still being studied.
That would be entirely doable. Vurzeale Kaylee is a unique individual. I can certainly see what I can do to provide information in regards to him. That is entirely on the table.
Right. Any objections?
I would like to learn about this Vurzeale.
I can only give so much right now. I don't, of course, have the full dossier. But he certainly has come to the attention of us a few times. He's not technically doing anything illegal, but he certainly is he is treading a fine line. He has information that is being used, we believe, for the purposes of blackmail and extortion. And he also simply keeps an ear out to find what information he can. Again, only illegal if we can prove the extortion and blackmail. Problem is, he's very good at doing that. So, we don't know.
Has he ever worked with you?
With me? No.
Is there any place where employment records would be kept?
Employment records on Vurzeale?
No, on the people that he hires.
I'd
9
imagine so,
plus.
yes.
It's my insight
If
5.
we might be able to find a connection, that proof that he is involved in something illegal, if you can find proof of employment of an individual named Malachi, who is currently being held by the guards in Gran under his own free will.
What for, out of curiosity?
He tried to kill us.
If you, Seven, can manage to find proof that he was indeed an employee of Mr. Vurzeale, then yes, I would say that would help quite a bit. Because that would effectively place an assassin in his employ. And then it'd be just a matter of chatting with said assassin.
Well, we might need an appointment to get in to look for these records.
Now that is going to be a problem. First off, let me just say one thing, because someone did roll an insight check.
Mm-hmm.
Granny, you have the sense that Amador is telling the truth. He has not had any work with Vurzeale.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You guys may continue.
Should also specify he tried to kill Asher with a stone giant as well. It's also not the first time we think it's been him sending assassins after us, but Michael's the only one we know of. Well, that's a lie. The city officials in what's it called? Elbedil. The secret police in the south took one of those.
Yeah.
Because they were also hired to kill.
Well.
So it doesn't just involve one member of his employ. It may potentially involve members of the government of the South.
No, we.
Well.
Well,
Guardsmen.
no.
Guardsmen. Okay. Either way.
Yeah.
That is a
I'm like, wait, because he wouldn't know that.
Either way, that would be conspiracy. If we can prove this, and you can prove that he is indeed tied to these men, then you have a very, very good case to have him arrested.
Would also get the family off our back.
You've been in a lot more trouble than I have been made aware of.
And that's all you need to
Isn't
know.
that the way that this always goes on my door?
Effectively, yes, but still, that is quite a bit of trouble.
I told you,
Um,
it has been an interesting couple of weeks.
Look, I will say, fine idea. I think it's a great option. I don't know how you'll pull it off, though. Because unfortunately, there is a small issue.
What? Sorry, I'll mute while I yell at him.
You're okay. I do not know where Vurzeale lives. Vurzeale is, according to tax documents, unemployed and homeless.
Yeah, an important politician, right? He works with important politicians.
He does.
Excuse you, sir. I'm in the middle of something. Sorry.
Todd Howard, stop screaming.
Quit calling him Todd Howard.
Todd Howard.
It's
Hey,
Ruben
bro.
pulling on Darius's pant leg. Excuse me, sir. I'm in the middle of something.
Oh, there he is. Why do you have a random cat in your office, Amador?
I don't know. They show up very often.
Got out a mouser.
This is true.
Would you have a high-ranking politician friend that would be willing... Quit rubbing against my mic. Sorry. I'm having to hold him hostage. Apologies. Who'd be willing to meet with him, or even give us an ability to meet with him? If we can meet him, we might be able to dig into him a little bit.
I understand where you're going with this. I can see what I can do. I don't know any off the top of my head, but if I ask around, I'm confident I know of at least a few who might be willing to put their necks on the line, as you have to bear in mind, that is dangerous.
That's
But
a shame.
I'm confident
boys.
I can... Dead?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was working with him.
What?
Oh yeah, did you not know that?
Yeah, we found part of a crushed Akesian metal plate there, and we made the connections that that was one of his.
But technically, in a way, you were also sort of working with him. Crazy how that works.
Yeah, working with him by association.
I'm gonna.
Wild when you
Yes.
think about it, no?
Yes, well, the more I think about it, the more conflicted I am about my actions on that day.
You should be.
So, I can reach out to see if there's anyone I know who can assist with this. It will take time, bear in mind.
You can call Ash's cart.
Well, it's actually better if you stay in the city. This will not take any longer than a day or two.
Okay. Like, we're being hunted actively.
Fair. We did
Wait.
make it hard for them to get to us. So.
We
Mhm.
did.
And
Connor, speaking of which, can I expend a couple of because you said it took a day and a quarter, correct?
Yes.
So I will use a couple of spell slots to cover our tracks essentially into the city.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine.
Okay.
If you... Basically, what I want you to do is tell me if you are or aren't going to do that.
Okay. I will
Simple
do it
as that.
today. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
look, we have a few things. This is a good place for us to stop. Clearly, we need to work on what it is we have in terms of information and the equipment. So, we will be here for a few days. Should be easy to reach.
I would expect so. If need be, I can set you up with a place to stay. I have a friend in city. They have a nice establishment. You will very easily be able to have rooms, be able to rest. I will make sure that they help you as best you can.
Which establishment?
He named it the Just Verdict.
Were you friends with him before or after he named it?
After
Mm-hmm.
he had, there was a legal discussion about whether or not he was allowed to build on his property due to a discrepancy in the law. I felt it was not fair for him to be treated in that way. I ruled in his favor. Rot. Because I did see you raising your hand. I just didn't want to interrupt anybody else.
Ra has been slowly inching closer to the guards and is sort of looking at their... Are their eyes visible at all?
Yes, faintly.
Okay. Ra's getting closer, and are their eyes tracking Ra, or are their eyes just staying facing forward?
Flicking around the entire office. They're paying attention to you, to the other people, to anything in the corner. They're doing a proper attempt to observe everything in the room itself.
Okay. Anything else odd about these motherfuckers?
They have very pale eyes. Like husky blue is the best way of describing it.
Okay. Interesting. Good to know.
One quick question. Your friend that you're going to have to persecute, does he happen to own the mining company that's in town, or is that someone else?
No, that is indeed him.
Damn, I need to go buy stuff from them. That's gonna suck.
Well, you can do so right now. There's nothing's going to stop you. But I foresee some issues for them in the future. Most likely, once the proceedings begin to go through, someone will try to buy them out, and they'll be replaced. But still, it is unfortunate.
Yeah, he did it to himself.
He did, but still it hurts other people. He does have employees that work for the mine. They may lose their jobs, and that is sad.
Well, better to lose the job than the life.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And I believe that will have to come up in conversation too. But there is other things to discuss now. I am, and he pulls out a pocket watch, I am close to being off shift, and I don't believe I have any more upcoming meetings. So, if you have the time, allow me to change out of my work clothing, and I can bring you to your reward.
I think we have a few spare moments.
Yes.
Okay.
So, wait out in the waiting room. I will be out in just a moment.
All right.
He'll just gesture you to the door. That's all. He won't like usher you out. He'll just
Alright. And this seems like a good time for a quick break.
a quick break.
Okay.
It's a good idea
Yeah.
for that. Yeah. Because I need to take a leak.
That.
I need to stretch my legs.
You have a cat on you, right?
Yeah, I've had a cat on me for 30 hours. I need to get up.
It's only 2.
Oh, in that
No!
case,
It
we
was
are
an
going
hour
to take a quick
before.
break. Don't go anywhere. Ladies, gentlefolk, non-binary folk, we'll be right back. And welcome back.
You guys wait outside of Amador's office for just a little bit. In time, you will see he comes out of the office. He is wearing what appears to be just some nice, comfortable clothing. It's well made, but you wouldn't call it extravagant. And following behind him are, of course, the 2 men wearing their armor. They are no longer wearing the earphones or earmuffs. So, Amador will look at you all and go, so, if you all care to come with me. And he'll begin to lead you out of the tower. As you guys begin making your way, you'll see that he's beginning to make his way towards the what is very clearly the wealthier district here in town. As you are making your way up, you can see that they've basically hewn like a staircase out of what must have been part of the actual mountain itself, to allow for this massive stone platform to be created which allows for all of these buildings to be built on top of it without having to build on top of the mountain. As you all are walking along, are there any things that you wish to speak to yourselves about or have any scenes on, out of curiosity?
Anyone else feel like we're being led to our death?
No.
I don't like being...
Just you.
Okay.
Pet pet.
Oh, if someone tries to insert in, we could get out of it.
Probably. My more pressing concern is we're in the rich district with a klepto. Heavy frown from Cat.
If you're worried about her getting caught, you just have to help her find a more discerning target.
Oh. That's fair. We need to find someone who's prideful and won't want to admit they ever got robbed.
Are you saying that at Kaz?
I'm saying that to Tana. That's how you find the good targets. Not that I would know.
I think she's giving you a hint there.
Look, we can't get arrested here.
I wouldn't know.
What are they gonna do? Arrest us, and then what will we do? We'll just blab on Amador. You know.
Is it? We do have that standing agreement.
Exactly.
Shouldn't abuse it, but...
I mean, we won't abuse it if Kaz doesn't get caught. The
You're
one
trying
eye.
Give her a
We're
sec.
trying to reason the fact that we can do infinite crime here because we can't be arrested, because I really don't think that's
That's
No.
not how it's supposed to work.
trained to...
It's
That's
no
not really
crime.
how that works.
Just a little crime. For fun.
Rod, it's not about doing the crime, it's about getting caught for the crime.
No, we're trying to not get... Wait. No wait.
You know how you don't get caught committing a crime? You don't do a crime.
Yeah, but look at me. You're gonna say that with Kaz here, that no crimes are gonna get committed?
Well, no, but I trust her not to get caught.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying what you should do.
Have you ever been to a circus where they're practicing and not actually performing? A lot of their practicing, they use a safety net on the heights and stuff. That way, if they don't get the routine perfect, they don't get out. Think of it like that. It's a safety net for getting caught. You don't have a plan on getting caught, but you want to have a way of getting out of it if you do.
Exactly. It's like Asha always falling back on his family name.
I regret stepping into this conversation. And Rai's gonna take 2 steps away from the two of them, very pointedly be like, done with this.
Watch, Asha. Is it morally wrong to steal from rich people?
No. In fact, if you're really going to go about it, it is almost a moral obligation to relieve them of the things that they would not normally just hand out.
See?
I'm actually with him on this one.
Ra resists for like a second, and it turns around and is like, okay, but what if, hear me out, a rich person has all this money and they donate to charity every day, but just because they're a rich person, they can break into their house and steal from them.
Yeah,
Think
that's why
about
you.
it.
That's why you case who you steal from, right? You don't just pick people at random.
Rob,
Rat will
Rat?
look pointedly at Kaz and go, you casing people? Or do you just sort of, just an instinct and sort of just take things? Do you do your research first?
I don't know if Jolly's back yet, but
Yeah, I think Jolly had to step
It's
away.
sort of, that's sort of
Yeah.
the inference though of like, do you think is that
yeah, but, well,
the vibe you
it's-
really think's going on here?
No, that's
Oh,
why
really?
we help her.
This is an extremely weird question. Can I run an insight check on Brat because they seem to be taking it a bit personally?
I'm sorry, there was cops in front of my door and I had to answer.
Oh.
Is everything okay?
I
we'll
don't
talk
know.
We'll talk about it after break, after
Yeah.
session.
They're after Ruben. You gotta hide the man.
But for reference, we looked at you at one point and said, do you actually think about who you steal from, or do you just steal?
No, I just steal. I don't really think of who I steal from.
But
That's why we help find the target.
Fizzy was doing an insight check on Rot.
To be taking this a bit personally.
I will say this: the people who should take it personally in this group, I don't think are Rot. I think
know.
I think it's
know.
technically Darius and Asher.
I know, but it's more the
Implication.
Is it beyond the like moral implication is my thing
You know,
of stealing from. I don't know. It
No,
just-
that's fair. Insight it.
Anyway, no, I rolled shit. I rolled a 12 total.
What? Why is Connor and Jill making motions at each other?
You rolled a what now? What'd you roll?
12.
12. What would I roll? If there was a contest thing, or if it would, what is it against?
So hiding
not-
hiding emotions or hiding one's inner thoughts tends to be deception because you are effectively trying to
Okay.
put up a stone wall. You're
Shit.
trying
Right.
to hide
So
it.
sad.
Okay, hold on. You rolled a 12, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I roll like garbage.
I rolled a 13.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Cool. All right. All right. I see nothing from it. It's your mask
It's
hides
morality.
everything. Okay.
You
It's
know-
morality.
they don't have much of a concept of theft or stealing. If you're
I
not
mean,
using something that someone else can use, then they have every right to take it.
I just think they have too much.
Same.
you really have knowledge of anything of that? But
Look, 90% of
Also-
rich people in the world don't actually do the work to earn their wealth.
I don't know.
The 10% we don't bother.
I don't know.
Talking about
What
this
we-
behind Amador. The rich people don't.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really know what it means to be rich. So, because I have no.
Izzy, do you
Well,
see that
being-
place up there?
Being rich means you have a lot of valuable resources and you don't share. You just kind
And
of.
sometimes it's stuff you don't actually need.
Sometimes you have so much
People-
valuable stuff you don't have anything reasonable to trade it on or buy. So you buy like random shit that's hideous, but worth a lot.
People. I mean, that sounds like that guy that died, that murdered. But like people do.
Can I insight Ron? I'm so sorry. I'm bleeding.
Jill's making a lot of faces.
That's you. It's sus, bro.
If you don't want me to make an insight, you can tell me no.
Ra has pointedly gone silent. The conversation kept going around. I was like,
Yes, but
Oh,
that's
shit,
not
bro.
that's not too abnormal for Rod.
No, I have a feeling
That's
I know
true.
why Rot's quiet. And it's not the...
I won't.
No. I, Jessica, have knowledge. But I want Darius to try to figure this out.
Like shit on my insight, so I don't know. She's just like, oh. Wow, I did not realize that was a thing that happened. I guess, growing up where I grew up, everyone shared everything. And there wasn't really, like, the concept of being rich. I'm not actually doing, Fizzy isn't actually doing this. She doesn't, I feel like she does this at unusual times.
She just saw people do it, but doesn't know why.
Doesn't know
She's like,
why.
Cody marks.
I really enjoy eating. What,
Hey,
what does that mean, Fizzy? I don't know. I
Jill.
just like doing it.
It's
What's up?
emphasis, right?
I am going to insight check you because I think I know why Rot went quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
15.
not really...
Watch you roll a 16.
6. I rolled a
Jill?
6.
6.
Yeah.
Is Rot getting defensive because their mentor's really rich?
No, Rot's getting defensive because their family's not poor. Certainly wealthy.
There is also a bit of a difference for the Fae. Don't use any gold or money or whatever you call it. It's mostly a barter system. You have something someone else wants, you trade it for something you want. And a lot of us, you don't work for any sort of money, you only work for what you want. And a lot of stuff is shared within the community. It is quite different from here.
You know, that's a lot like home. I wonder if maybe I'm part of the Feywild and I don't know it. I don't think so. But
You know, Fizzy, we'll explore that someday. Technically, elves do descend from creatures that did come from the Feywilds. So, you know, maybe the group of drow you're from just kept some more of the traditions than most.
maybe.
Anyways, what's this thing Amador's giving us?
So, as you guys have been following Amador, having a conversation amongst yourselves in the meantime, you see that Amador has been leading you guys to a very tall stone building with large glass windows that allow for light to come in. It's got a slightly domed top to it with some very nice roof work to it, and you see that there is a nice sign out front that is carved into stone and then embossed with metal that says very clearly, the Museum of Artifacts and Oddities.
Are we getting to pick something from the museum gift shop?
Yeah,
No,
10 minutes. I'm gonna give you the shopping cart and send you.
I'm just gonna let you get whatever you want from the gift shop. Go
Oh
wild!
my gosh, it's like that game show Supermarket Sweep.
God, I love that show.
It's like guys' grocery games during the last round where they have to go find a bunch of shit and put it in the buggy.
No, so what is going to happen is I am going to introduce you to my friend. He is he runs the location.
Curator?
The curator, that is the word. And I believe that I can come to an agreement with him that you may all find agreeable. See, he is always on the lookout for more objects that he can display. But it's difficult to find individuals who will do so or are willing to part with them. So, my thought is I will introduce you all to him, and as a trade, if you all come in contact with rare items that you do not wish to carry, you can give them to him and can perhaps borrow something from his collection. In this case, I think I'll be getting you one for free. Come.
Can't it just give us a merchant that we can trade magic items with?
He's not even a merchant. This is literally a guy running a museum.
Well, when you think of it, most museums have an inventory that is not all of the stuff they currently have on exhibit.
Yes.
So it would probably be, if it's not on exhibit and there's a new item. That...
You know,
Man,
Asher could make us a lot of money here.
Good.
Where?
He makes weird shit.
Yes, well, the issue is he's looking for weird shit that is old. He's looking for artifacts. He's looking for relics, strange things that would be good to display and show.
You're looking for weird old shit. Granny, you'd be perfect.
Ouch.
I'm choosing to take that as a compliment, and you're acknowledging my age, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't know about weird, but there are a lot of really old things that are commonplace in the Feywild.
And something like that very well could be interesting to have. But, come. And he leads you inside of the museum, and you can see that This location is effectively like a large, a set of large halls that display various objects for everyone to see. In some places, there are what look to be like massive statues that have been dug up out of the earth and then carefully brought back into working order after, say, clearing away dirt and dust and rock. And some of these things are positively ancient rot, if you were to assume. Hundreds, thousands maybe. You're not sure how old some of them may even be. But at the end of the day, all of this is on display for everyone to look at. There are even what look to be weaponry and armor. Old bits of kit and gear that were used by people long past dead. Individuals who may have been heroes at once upon a time. There's even some more mundane stuff. Simple armors that show the change of how metalwork was used by the dwarves in the north through the years, and how it evolved and designed for their plate mail, stuff like that. But Amador will lead you over to a short-looking fellow who's currently running through a small presentation on a few objects for some visitors. The fellow looks to be a gnome. He is small, kind of scrawny-looking. He has kind of like a Shaggy Rogers kind of like big Adam's apple that's very noticeable. He's got himself like a shorter amount of shortcut hair that's kind of like slightly wavy, slightly stuck up a little bit. And you see he's wearing what looks to be like a nice tweed suit. And he will finish up his presentation, then he'll look over at Amador and go, "Ah, nice to see you again, Amador. I see you've brought friends, guests?" And Amador will go, "Yes, I have. These are the people I wish to bring to you and discuss this with. Please introduce yourselves. This is Rand Shakad. He is the curator of this museum. You all, feel free to introduce
Very
yourselves."
good to meet you, monsieur. Asher Irons of the Irons Clan.
Nice to meet you as well, Rand.
Very well.
The rest of you?
This is the rest of the neighborhood watch.
When did we decide on that, Asher?
Just now.
Asher.
I like it.
It does have an ass ring to it.
Oh my god.
I think you're being
What's
outvoted.
What's a neighborhood?
I don't know, but it sounds.
It's like a group of people where you live. You know, like the people around you. Anyway,
That's
what
not
are
just a
what are your
village.
names?
it's like a part of
Ross.
Ross.
Stick a hand out.
Nice to meet you.
Busy.
Very nice to meet you as well.
Wait,
It's been some time since I last got to see an albino elf.
you've seen one?
Yes.
When?
Yes, I was fortunate enough to meet an albino when I was a young man.
What was their name?
Oh gosh. Busy. I'll have to double check the names. Where are the names?
It's in the doc I sent you. It's in a Google doc I sent you,
Where's the
Connor.
document? Where did the document go?
You should really be pinning those in your conversations
I
with
really
people.
should be.
Yeah.
I found it. It was Elrid. That's it.
Oh. How were they?
They were nice, seemed very nice. Bit like a fish out of water, if I'm to be totally honest.
Like
But
that.
nice
What are my
enough sort.
siblings? What are my siblings?
Oh, very nice to meet you.
Hold on 1 second. I also need to check the document because I gave myself so many siblings, I forget which one that is.
Yeah, I know. Do you know why I had to check now?
No, I know you're not wrong. I forget. I gave myself I love that I have so many siblings. It is a thing sometimes though. Hold on, I don't remember which one it is. No, that's busy. Not right.
Yes.
I'm pointing at people now that we're in order, so I'm gonna point at Tana next.
It's my brother. Yeah, Elred's my brother. He's back home though.
That's fair.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
You?
You can call me Dana.
Oh, nice to meet you, rabbit folk. Again, I don't get to see very many of you. Still, nice to meet you.
Pointing at Granny next.
All my friends just call me Granny. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Pointing at Rot.
Rot
Already
introduced
went.
themselves.
Oh yeah. Apologies.
I'm not going a second time, and you can't make me. I did it once. That's all I'm contractually obligated to do.
What about Frog?
That's
This is
true.
Frog.
Now-
You hold up the ferret.
Points to Kaz.
You can just call me Kaz.
The monkey is Ruben.
Nice to meet you, and nice to meet you too, little guy. And he kind of puts a finger out to Ruben. And Ruben will go. "Ah!" Okay.
At least he seems to like you.
And I'm Darius Barriet.
Nice to meet you. So, this is the Museum of Artifacts and Oddities. I am the curator, of course. As Amador likely brought you up to speed, I am looking for people to find more materials for the museum. And I have been fortunate enough in my life to have a windfall to sit upon financially. So either I can pay for such objects to be brought here, or in the case of rough and tumble adventurer types like yourselves, I can offer to trade, and I can provide you objects from the collection that either have been on display for a bit too long, or I simply would be okay with parting with and putting up a replica in its place. And as a token of good faith, I would like to show you one that I am willing to part with.
Lead the way.
Come with me, come. And he will lead you into a section of the museum that appears to be almost themed, you would describe it as. You see that there are these sculptures or partially reassembled machines of what appears to be. Like almost something robotic or humanoid-like. And they've been all put back together, like partially put back together, but they're only in like half assembled. But they look almost like a full humanoid that is composed of small gears and wires and all these little bits and pieces. And they are remarkably ornate and remarkably fine detailed. Like plates on the hands and what have you that look like they could move slightly to make the facsimile of a hand moving in a very fine motion. None of them are complete, save for one object that sits at the very center of this room in its own little glass case that has a specific section of the glass cut out and replaced with dark shaded glass. And you see that you're looking at what looks like a ball. It's about the size of a grapefruit. It's got these indents all along it and holes that look like they bore inside of it at even spacings all along the side of it. But coming from the inside of this ball, there's this bright red glow. It's constantly coming out of it, constantly present. And looking through the dark lens, you can see that it looks like it's just giving a proper view at the inside of one of these holes. And you can see there's a little gem that is visible when looking through the polarized glass. And there you can see etched on it is some kind of a rune or symbol. This is my current display to one of our many mysteries on this world. Editremini.
Come again?
So,
Gemini.
Editremini is an artificer before artificers. See, for a time, we knew that magic could be brought into mechanical objects, and there was very little reason to do so. But Editremini was one of, if not the first to begin doing so, and he was prodigal. He is untouched, unmatched. Everything in this room, I've confirmed 100% to have been made by him. They match the timing, they match the years, everything. This is all the few things that we managed to find of him. But no one knows who he is, or what he looked like, or what he was. They don't even know if he was a dwarf, an elf, even a Ganassi. No one knows who he was. And this, and he taps on the glass case, is what I've taken to calling the Editremini Blast Sphere.
I have a feeling it's going to cause explosions.
No,
Oh,
actually.
thank God.
It has this very interesting property where, if the person who's holding it tosses it down on the ground while determining a target in their mind, who is within range, of course, it will let loose a burst of projectiles, and they will automatically home in on whoever they were aiming for. It has quite a bit of potential to be very dangerous. And also, there's more things to it that I'm sure I'm missing. See, I'm not the best when it comes to finding out secrets and stuff like this. I'm simply good at figuring out the basics. I don't know what else you can do. But if it means setting it aside and giving it to you all so that you can have it, and helping to make sure that you all continue to work with me, I'm willing to do so.
Done.
I have a question.
Yes.
I was literally about to say, has Ash's eyes left this thing?
It did not even. Asher's standing right over this thing, like tracing on the glass with his artificial hand.
But I will say, of course, for the rest of you, as your friend seems to be very entranced by it, there are other things that I will, of course, be finding and be willing to give up. I've found other things that would be very nice to pass along. I found a nice petrified wood sword that appears to have some interesting magical properties to it. It's not ready for display yet, but I have this. I found some very interesting other objects that could be used for defensive properties or runes. I have plenty of things that you could look at. Yes.
Before I say this to the guy, Jairus is gonna lean over to Rot and go, how unwelcome would you be to touching a bunch of magical things?
Rot, you can't see Rot's face, but Rot does that thing where people go, that like, what do you think? Rot is gonna sit there like that in that position for a second and go, if you could see my face, you would know that I'm extremely, extremely ready to touch everything in this entire museum if I get the alright.
Yeah. Hey, to further show building a friendship and potentially more equitable exchanges and such, do you have anything you can't age?
I think there may be a few things that I'm not entirely positive on, yes.
You'd like to know the age of these things down to the day.
Yes, I would love to have that.
It'll just take a moment. Can I touch it?
Oh, yes.
Whatever it is?
Yes, there's a back room over there. You're more than welcome to enter it. After all, I know exactly what's in there, and if it goes away, I would know who did it. So don't worry, go ahead. I'll unlock the case for you in just a moment, sir. And he'll hustle over, he'll unlock the case, and he'll kind of open up one of the doors to it, and he'll gesture for you to go to it, Asher. And while he's doing so, he's gonna kind of step back. He's gonna move over towards Kaz a little bit, and he's going to go, Miss.
Yes.
I believe that you and I could find a similar. I feel like you and I could become fast friends. And he holds up a hand, and you see in between his thumb and his finger, there's the symbol of a hook.
I'm a little confused on what that is.
He's one of the hookers.
No,
The criminal
stop it! No,
He's a hooker.
You're a hooker.
he sells his body. God damn.
Like
No,
like
um,
like
He's a
Ranji.
fisher.
Like Ranji, he's a fisher.
Oh.
Just like Ranji.
Oh god, that's just meaning like when was the last time I've seen a fish?
No, that's fair. You will see though there is a small difference to his tattoo. There's what looks like a piece of wire has been wrapped around the hook. I'm not in the game anymore, but I wouldn't be against less than legally acquired objects making their way into my collection. And if need be, I can even fake their authenticity to make it so that no one can dispute it. So an individual of your abilities would be very welcome.
Hmm.
And he is having this conversation quietly between him and Kaz.
Okay. I'm listening.
Situation's the same as with your friends, but see, there are a few objects I can't show as easily, but they would be very good for an individual of your caliber, and would certainly make your days as a thief a little bit easier.
If it makes things easier, I'm all for it.
Very well. I don't currently have one ready, but I have an ear out for something that, if you'd like, I could give you a hint on, and if you have it and you get it, it's yours.
Okay.
Very well. And he'll hand you a folded piece of paper. And I assume you'll take it.
Yes, I'll take
Okay. And you see that it is effectively like a very briefly, actually, it's not even a briefly written. It is a dossier that's been written in thieves' cants in shorthand for an individual who appears to have at least one magic object that matches up pretty well with something that a thief would love to have.
I'm stupid. What is that?
A dossier is basically it's just a write-up saying, this is the person, this is what it's like, I think the security's like this.
It's a fancy way of saying a case file.
It's a case file, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jolly, I will give you the full information on your potential target later on after the session. I need to have it all fully written up for you.
What am I, a hitman now?
No, but he does have there is mention of a magic item that, if its description's correct, would be pretty nice for Kaz.
Okay. Is this potential subject part of the city currently, or is it somewhere else?
There in the city, yes.
Okay.
Not only are they in the city, I made sure to do my digging. He's not necessarily a well-liked man, so don't shed any tears.
Yeah,
he deserves it.
Back to the previous conversation.
But as a sign of good faith, that one's free. Do what you will with it. You can keep it yourself. You can give it back to me. Do whatever you want.
Okay.
And he'll give a polite nod, and he'll move back over to Asher. Asher, you are looking at like I described, a black sphere with odd indents in it and several holes bored into it. And it looks something like this. Like I said, this is the item that I realized I made a mistake on the way it rendered out. And I know how to fix it, but it's not fixed yet because that will take several hours. So, sorry. All along the outside of the sphere, there are odd, almost like curving, whirling designs that go along it. It's almost organic in the way that it moves. There does not seem to be any set pattern or discernible reason for why it is like that, but it is. The metal beneath it is slightly warm to the touch, almost like a small creature in your hands. And there are pieces of this that feel like they can move and fidget and twitch and be moved around, but you don't know how they go.
Mm-hmm.
I have written how it works in the item card.
Yep.
It holds 9 charges, so in theory, if you wanted, you could cast Magic Missile at 9th level. That would be 9d4 of damage.
Yep.
No,
not 9.
that would be 12 d4.
Oh, 12d4. I apologize.
Oh, 11d4.
11. Yeah, 11. I'm sorry. Right.
Look,
Yeah,
look-
forgot about 3.
We're not gonna stress it. All we know is that's a fuck ton of damage.
That is
It is a fuck ton of damage.
That is a fuck ton of damage. Jesus.
It's
But
That would average 38.5 points of damage.
it still has a recharge period. And also, Asher, you're sure there's more to it.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know what.
Asher has a
Did
new
you
toy.
intentionally get your massage ball out for that so you could have a
Yes.
prop?
No, I had it on my desk. Which is
No.
even fucking cooler.
Orb.
Orb.
Orb. The orb. Asher is just
Oh,
he's
okay.
just staring.
Asher,
Where?
you're gonna have to look at other things than the orb.
Oh, I will.
Granny puts a hand on Darius' shoulder and is like, give him some time. Give him some space.
Well, the thing is, he
Alright.
froze the second he heard the name.
Yeah, he'll get over it.
Dara.
Well, not
Said
over
before,
it.
Asdi at a Gemini.
He'll recover.
What,
Darius.
Asher?
I believe he asked the book about someone of that name.
The things that I was willing to do to just get my hand on one of these.
Now it's being freely handed to you.
I can locate the rest of them. This was one of his. This is almost enough to make me believe in fate.
And all you had to do was meet a bunch of fucking weirdos and invite them on your cart.
Oh, that's
Yeah. I'm also including myself in that, to be fair.
yeah, because you are kind of.
I am kind of weird. I acknowledge that. I'm a 6-foot elf. Of course I'm a little weird.
This is a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Asher's just having like this absolutely like moment of beyond ecstatic. You like
None of you have ever seen Asher look so fucking dumbfounded in his entire life. Men are always cocky, I know exactly what I'm looking at. Is just like, what the fuck?
Greta's just kind of watching him, like, stare at the orb with just this, like, kind of just like a not vacant smile, but I can't think of the word, where it's just like, I don't know what's really going on, but I'm really happy.
Found it.
The grandma smile.
Yeah, the grandma smile.
Grandma smile.
She's like,
Pretty
wow,
dumbfounded.
he looks really happy right now.
Asha, is that one of the 2 good things you want to put in the world? Or one of the 1 bads?
No, this will help me get to the good.
Well, that's all I need to know.
This is a huge step to help me get to the good.
Help you to get to things like this. And she's gonna motion around the room at all the...
Wait, look at how they flow. The small movement. I have had to go with admittedly a bit more crude of a design. The fine movement. Look at the design themselves as it was always described. They are living. Imagine. You no longer, if something bad were to happen, you no longer have to just live with some sort of rudimentary appendage. You can have the fine movement. The fine movement of your toes. You can run your hand. It was said that they were able to feel things. You could run your hand over the blades of grass. You could feel them. You could feel the warmth from the touch of your child. You could feel the rain. You
really miss feeling your hand, don't you?
There are very few things that I can actually sense. Very few. And it isn't very strong, but I can do more. But imagine beyond that. You do not have to have people working out in the fields all day, all night to harvest things. They could have something as big as this. They could do the work. Make all of the food cheaper. Instantly. All of these people they are working themselves literally to the bone just to give their families food. It would cost almost nothing anymore. Literally, if I am able to replicate this, we would be able to feed people, Daras. All of the people. Regardless of where they are at. Real good. Shift the balance of power permanently. You could not have people just hoarding money and be able to do whatever they want. They could not use hunger as a weapon against the people anymore. And that is just one idea that I've had.
Well, let's start with the small instead of the grand. Don't want to burn ourselves out before we get there.
No. Not at all. This is good. And this is a great start.
Here, and Darius is gonna scruff the back of his head.
All right.
Now, we left Rod alone to go touch a bunch of magic items.
We did. I also need to ask Rod if he wants this mask. He does weird things. I'll explain later.
Okay.
Rod, you've been touching a bunch of odd miscellaneous objects. And you're able to discern that a vast majority of these are real. They match up pretty closely with what they look like and what they feel like they match up with. A handful of them are definitely magical. There are still a few fakes that get mixed in, but there's only so much one can do about that. So, not the end of the world. I mean, heck, even a fake could be used pretty well as a display object. In time, you will have a few of your friends pestering you at the door to the storage room. They'll call you out. And you will see Asher's there. He is holding the orb now. And I believe, Asher, at this point, you'd probably be taking off the mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want this?
Is it the dead god face ones?
Yes.
Where?
Well, maybe.
So, I have been wearing it for a few days, just to see, usually with the magic items, if it is something it will come back. It shows you things in your dreams.
Certainly won't say no to exploring
Right.
that possibility.
It
Just
you might be able to attune to it maybe faster, or it might sync up with you a bit better than it would me. There was a dream that I had. We need to look at the entrance to the towns to go to up here in the north. I am not quite sure what it is that, but the mask was trying to show me something. It was a consciousness from the mask itself that was able to show me something in my dreams.
interesting.
I am not quite sure. Again, I am good with certain things. This is my wheelhouse. This is what I am good at. Messing with something like that, sure, I can do it. Absolutely. I think this might probably be closer to something that you would be better at. Plus, if we're getting to the point where we're having to deal with scary people, yes, a wood mask is scary, but the visage of a dead god, especially with some of the cool things that you can do, someone might shoot themselves instead of trying to fight us.
Also fair. Well, to be fair, the real scary part would be no mask. But I think I could. It feels a little sacrilegious, but I feel like I could probably get over that rather quickly.
Are you the religious type, though?
Yeah.
In
Have
a
you not-
logical sense, Rot jingles the key ring on their belt that has all the symbols. Like, if I need them, they're there. I certainly believe they're likely out there, but I don't see the idea of restricting yourself to one when there's a bunch.
Where?
I think
But
it's communicating of some way. I'm sure I could be like, oh, is this weird? And they'll be like, oh, no, not really.
not even the book has knowledge on the symbols or that god's face. So, if somebody who has an affinity for the magic and carries around a bit of the gods, honestly, I'm just looking to have the ability to kill one if one were to cross my path and try to destroy the world again. Someone who is a bit more amenable to their insight and whatnot. You might be able to wake it up faster than I can.
You'd certainly try. Rat will put it in like his bag right now because he's not switching it out in front of these strangers.
Mm-hmm.
No stranger. You gotta be level 2 friendship to see this mug.
Wait, does
We're
that mean we're all
not
at level
there
2?
yet.
See,
Friendship?
no free face pics.
Is this group level 2 friendship then?
You have to be on tier 2 of my OnlyFans to get those face pics.
I don't know. I might be friends. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe you're level 3 at this point. I don't know. Don't ask me.
Level 4 is
Yeah,
when
Rob-
they start to doubt the mentor.
Oh my god, there you go.
But
No, Rot will
it's
take
the
it.
weirdest OnlyFans tier list. Tier 0 is Fizzy's feet. Tier 1 is Granny's
Aw.
hand underneath the glove. Tier 2 is Rot's face.
There's not a very high retention rate for this OnlyFans.
No, it's strange.
Because once you get there, you're
It's
like,
weird,
oh,
but this OnlyFans
They're
doesn't
like,
seem like it'll be that
"Oh."
popular.
There's this.
I don't think we have a new
It-
Belle Delphine on our hands here, guys.
Yeah, it's like in
Not yet,
tier
give it
1,
time.
it's like, oh, there's this wrinkled old hand. I think there's a liver spot. What?
Wait, does that mean Asher's shoulder where the magic arm connects is on there somewhere?
Probably.
Level 3
This
or
is
4.
the weirdest form of Exodia I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I don't like this actually.
Powers combined.
Bad.
Let's move on.
By the power combined, let's move on. Yes.
Power
Powers
combined,
combined,
move
we
the
can
fuck
solve problems
on.
by dinner time. Alright?
I love that phrase actually. Hold on.
okay, one more thing. Ruben's bathwater. Okay, now we can move.
Yes.
All right, we can go now. It's been in my head. I was like, I need to
Yes.
say it. Even if I hate it, I need to get it out.
It includes whatever
So-
fruit Ruben was eating.
Ah.
Oh my god.
I hate you guys. I love you guys. I hate you guys.
With our powers
OnlyFans.
combined.
I'm gonna
Sponsor
degrade
us.
our friendship level. I'm gonna go back tier 1.
With your
Yeah.
your money, with your sponsorship, we can see the bathwater.
No, stop.
Ugh.
No.
Right.
Ugh. So, I take it you all are agreeable to this arrangement?
Seems like it.
Very well. That's good to hear. If you have the opportunity to come by with any new magic items, I will gladly take them off your hands, and I will show you what I can trade.
Connor, is this museum just magic items?
No, not just magic items.
So a bunch of really fancy paintings.
There are fancy paintings. There are like old like urns and reliquaries and stuff like that. Things that aren't magical, just very pretty pieces of art and are historically valuable. There's a fair amount of stuff like that as well. There's also an entire wing just dedicated to things that are magical but can't be used by basically anyone anymore. So things that were set up for just one person to use, but that guy's dead now, so well, you just have a fancy
That's-
stick.
That sounds like a challenge.
That sounds like
I
something
was
Asher
gonna
and Rot.
say,
Yeah. Mr. Rand, are you
Yes.
familiar with our Fey Forge metal?
No, not at all.
They don't do it that much because there aren't any forges there. In fact, most Fey despise metals. But there is a process of creating bronze that doesn't use a forge. As she holds up one of her chakrams.
What would that be, out of curiosity?
Well, it's using magic to create an object that isn't inherently magical itself. It's weaving the metals together, forming strong bonds.
Huh. That's very interesting.
Of course, it doesn't work with all types of metals. There's some that actively resist magic.
Yes, like forms of adamantine and some mithrils. Yes, you're right. I would
If you
care to
want-
I would care to have a example of one of these if possible, but I would hate to deprive you of any of your weaponry, especially ones that you're actively using.
You can take a look at one.
I will gladly take a look at it just for reference. He'll hold a hand out and hold take one of the chakra when you offer it.
I mean, she only has 2 chakra, but she does have 10 chakram.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like it's keeping her from fighting right now.
Interesting little object.
There are certain impurities in it, but the places where it all connects is very strong and the edges a very fine point.
Yes, they are. Interesting. He'll hand you it back. Like I said, I would hate to deprive you of anything that you're actively using, but if you can find me an example of one of those that aren't going to be used, I will gladly take it.
Aye.
With that said, are there any other things that you guys would like to do here in the museum? No. In that
Asher's
case-
just going to be making notes on some of the
the-
movement and on the mechs themselves.
Okay.
Just for his own personal, hopefully to help
For his own
spark
notes.
something with
That's fair.
Asher,
His
would
own
you
research.
like me to try to draw pictures of them so that you can study them later?
if you don't mind.
You may make a roll, Cody.
I'll try to make diagrams essentially. What ability am I using for?
What do you roll for drawing?
I was gonna ask, can I provide guidance for this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I will give you the D4. Called D. And sleight of hand maybe for drawing?
Oh yeah, I was thinking like dexterity, maybe.
Oh, dexterity of some sort,
Yeah.
You're doing dexterity, that's 13 on the die. Dex plus proficiency is +7, and 2 on the guidance for 22 total.
You will have yourself some pretty well put together diagrams. They're not 100% detail accurate because it's very difficult to get something like that without pulling it apart. But you have pretty good diagrams.
Thank you, Tana. Very
I
much
do like the
appreciate it.
idea that Fizzy was over Tana's shoulder going, "Don't forget that gear. Look at, don't forget that one. That one's really cute. It's so small. Why is it so small? Those ones are big. Why is that one small?"
Literally what she was doing. She was just like, oh wait, look at that one. Okay, wait, don't forget that. That's really, it looks like it's important.
That one's kind of silvery. That one's cool. I like that one.
Ooh, that one wiggles.
Whoa!
Why does it do that? That's
I
so
believe they
cool.
call it oscillating.
It wiggles.
My favorite children's band, The Oscillations.
Honestly, I'm a weird child. I probably would have had more interest in them than
Then the Wiggles.
the Wiggles.
Jail.
With that said, you guys begin making your way back out of the museum, and you bid Mr. Ranchicata adieu. And Amador will say, "So, if you'd like, you can bring this." And he'll just hand over like a little handwritten note. You can bring this over to the man in charge of the just verdicts. I'm sure he'll have some rooms for you all. Please, like I asked, just stick around town for a bit. You give me about a day, maybe 2, and I'll have the information for you, all right?
Aye.
So, best of luck to you all. Be well, and please try to avoid causing too much trouble.
We'll do our best.
Give Cortez Senior my well wishes, okay?
What did he say?
Cortez Senior,
Oh, the guy. That must be the guy.
The man in charge of the bar.
The inn.
Verdict. Jesus Christ.
The just a verdict.
Also, it is Sereno. I forgot a letter. My mistake.
So can you put in the chat both names of
Yes, I
Rand
can.
and
Yes.
Cortez?
The
So.
Yeah, say the N like nya
Yeah.
instead of like.
Yeah. No, I said yeah.
Oh, you did. You said it correctly. I'm proud
Yeah,
of you. Connor.
yeah.
I'm
I took
proud of
Spanish
you.
classes in high school.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm
What,
proud
you-
of it.
Were you not proud of Lo Siento?
Lo siento.
Lo siento.
That's still my favorite curse thing I've ever said.
Mine is still, I had a plan!
What?
And you have to say it with that undertone.
You have to say it with the crack in the voice.
Yeah.
'Cause there was like that
My-
crack.
Mine might be the out of character comment on, well, we're the people free range or farm raised.
Oh my god.
I forgot about that.
Hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
Anna said some fuck shit.
I say a lot of. The more we say things, the more I realize I do say fucked up things, don't I?
Yes.
Welcome to
I
Dicefunctional.
don't
We
regret
all do.
Shit's fucked.
So we're walking out, and I'm getting the sense we're probably gonna end session, and we're just
Yes.
gonna, as we're heading towards the inn, kind of turn to ask us up. Neighborhood watch?
Wait,
Is that us?
Why did we let you make the decision?
it's felt like a good time.
It's
been
about time.
wait.
How long
been-
have you been sitting on it?
Only about a day or two.
I've heard worse group names for sure.
Look, either we are here to, look after the neighborhood, provide good information, it is friendly, it is approachable, or if you are, somebody who is, making the neighborhood worse, maybe you should watch out for the neighborhood watch.
I like it. Do y'all like it too? Y'all good?
I'm a fan. I like it.
Eris is just
Well-
gonna sign and go, I know I'm getting outvoted.
You'll grow to love it.
I don't
I'm
really
sure.
care about names as long as they can't be used as forms of power over me.
No, give me time though, and I can do that.
Priorities.
Well, let's go find this inn, and then I gotta hopefully find coal from these miners. Better if I can find other stuff, but coal is first priority.
What do you need coal for?
Can't
Oh,
you
you
just use charcoal by burning wood?
No, you see, if you take coal and you process it down, you can make a really corrosive acid that can leave long-lasting welts on people. This is a thing in the sheet, Connor. I double-checked it when you said there was a mining operation.
Mm.
There's
Alright.
another one, but coal is easier to get.
If you figure out a way to do that, I have figured out a way to put things in shotgun shells. We could add that.
Is it?
We could... What?
Or bullets.
Acid bullets.
It'll hurt. It'll hurt like a son of a bitch.
Oh, and it will leave a mark.
Hey, Kaz. Kaz.
Yes.
What was he talking to you about? Because I noticed he pulled you aside. He was whispering to you. What was he whispering?
If you said anything untoward towards you, you'd tell us so I could go back there
Right.
and defend
Yeah.
your honor, correct?
He was mean to
'Cause
you.
I will.
Well, I think if anyone's going to defend Kaz's honor, we'll let Granny do it.
Or well, I
I
think
think
Tana
Rot's
will
could do
beat me
it.
to the punch. But
Well, Tana could
I'm
definitely
quite
be.
strong. Thank you very much.
You are, but the
yes,
way you talk.
are. No. He is. Looks very pointedly at Darius.
Anyways, Kaz, Fizzy's question.
Told me to take an item from somebody.
Oh, you're stealing.
Well, yeah, because I mean, why not, right?
Wait.
Win in Yinland.
I mean, I get the item for free if I do it.
Oh,
All right.
That's a pretty good deal.
So, Kaz, what is the plan?
I have no idea. I don't know what the details are.
All right. Well,
And-
we are about to get a room for an inn.
yeah, we can rest up and all meet in an inn room and discuss the next plan.
Darius can show you
go
how to
crime.
take a bunch of papers and put them on the wall and put string between them.
Neighborhood watch. Crime.
that's right. the name.
I'm sorry. Did I get you?
You know, God, you're really going to have to loosen your morals a little, I think.
What about my morals?
I think you'll have to.
Stealing from people is not a crime. It is not
Well, this
against
is museum.
anybody's morals. It is morally
This is-
just.
Oh, this
This is me-
apparently this is the guy that deserves it. Apparently.
This is museum mandated stealing. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're okay with music? Your morals make me confused.
We were all, you know, it's for a museum. Museums can't be bad.
Where? Museums are never bad.
There's never been a bad museum ever.
Remind me to show you some museums sometime.
I see Jill fighting through Rot.
Cool.
Ross,
Eyes
so
twitching.
insecure.
Just gathering knowledge. It's great for everyone.
Yeah.
There are some Fae who are a bit wary of outsiders, because they say that people exploring the Feywild have tried stealing important things in the past.
Yeah, I wonder who that was.
I mean, they could just barter for them. I'm sure that there are things on the materia plane that the Fae would like.
Like the moon? Yeah.
That's a pretty
like the
big
moon.
barter, but yes.
They would probably also have copper at the mining place. Sorry, I'm thinking about my own things.
That's all right. Let us get the room. Guys, you can give us the information, these ideas. We'll follow your lead.
Okay.
And we got nothing else to do. Let's crime.
Hey, downtime. Yeah. It's heist.
Prime time. And scene.
And break.
And with that, you guys can make your way over to the Just Verdict so you can get yourself some rooms and have the next few days while waiting for some information from Amador Bello. So, thank you also very much for being here.
This crime streak in town suddenly.
No. So, with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. I guys hope you guys enjoyed the stream, where the Neighborhood Watch.
Yeah.
This appears to be their name.
Yeah,
Attorney!
we kind of decided outside of game.
Yeah.
Okay, the
If
Neighborhood
that wasn't
Watch.
obvious to any viewers, where we
Yeah.
were very suddenly like,
Yeah.
yeah, this one. That worked, yeah.
Where the Neighborhood Watch, as they have decided to name themselves, begins to do the exact opposite of their namesake and steal from somebody.
I love that.
So,
Historically, the neighborhood watch was a bad thing, so you know.
It was typically done by like the homeowners
Mafia.
associations, which had their own interests in mind.
Exactly. So really, we're just
The
upkeeping
mafia,
the
so
horrible
yeah.
tradition of them.
So, they will pick back up next week. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, please pass the word around and tell your friends. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. We stream pretty regularly, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Ordinarily, Wednesday is a solo stream where I play horror, but for the next few weeks, it looks like it's going to be Halo on Legendary because I'm getting bored with horror and I have nothing to play.
Howard,
There's nothing to play.
we could play group games.
We could play group games. Yeah, that's true.
That's it. We still have Booman to beat.
We do still have Booman, which is shockingly good, actually.
We also Phasmophobia has also had a ton of updates since we last played.
I can't do Phasmo because of the static
The
noise.
static.
Yeah.
Honestly, we could probably just use Discord. But with all that said, I hope you guys had fun. Get yourselves some food, treat yourselves well, and say bye, stream.
I stream.
I stream.